What is going on, Sens fans? Welcome to another edition of the Locked On Senators live watch party. I'm your host, Jack Richardson, set to bring you the Ottawa Senators versus the New York Rangers. Second half of a back-to-back for the Senators. Levi Merlainen getting the back-to-back start. Obviously a big one for the Sens. James Reimer's backing up. Jonathan Quick in net for the Rangers. We'll get to all of that throughout the game. I'll be with you guys for the next three periods. We've got a special guest coming with us in the second intermission. Pillsey is going to join me for the first period once again. We found out that the Senators have a 3-1 score advantage over the opponents when Pillsey's in here with me, so I gaslit him and said he had to come and join us for the first period, at least for this one, and see how that goes again. Happy to have everyone with us. We are very excited. Obviously, got our first win yesterday, looking to ride that momentum into Madison Square Garden against a very vulnerable New York Rangers team that has just 5 wins and just 2 of those in regulation at home this season. Another must-win game for the Ottawa Senators, back-to-back or not. In one of the biggest markets in the NHL, this is a big one. The Sens usually get up for these games and play well at MSG for the most part, so I'm excited to bring you guys the reaction to this game. But as always, got to shout out our friends at the GCP first. If you're looking for a place that lives and breathes hockey, Glebe Central Pub is the spot, right in the heart of the Glebe. Just steps from Lansdowne. It's the perfect place to catch every game, every night. Great food and drink, and even better company. But GCP is about more than just catching the big game. There's something happening almost every day for the week to appeal to every taste. Start your week with Wing Day every Monday, all day and all night. Trivia night goes Tuesday, so bring your crew and put your knowledge to the test. Wednesdays, it's open mic night. Whether you play, sing, or just want to kick back and listen, it's a great way to celebrate Hump Day. Thursdays are all about cheap tacos, and of course, Saturday night features live music with no cover ever. Whether it's hockey, live music, or just a night out with friends, make Glebe Central Pub your home base because, as you know, the vibes are free at the GCP. Folks, I'm pumped for this one. This should be a great one. We're on a one-game winning streak, the Ottawa Senators are, so really pumped about this one. Obviously, I mentioned we got a guest. I'm going to have Callum Fraser joining me for the second intermission. Him and I have worked together with at 580 CFRA for a little bit, and he's obviously stepped into a new role here, writing on the beat for the Senators for the Ottawa Citizen and the Ottawa Sun. But since the Sens are on the road, figured I'd get Callum involved. So I'm excited to hear his thoughts. He actually was on the show with the boys a few days ago, I think last week. So I'm excited to see what he has to say, hopefully, about this game going on here. We'll talk some big picture stuff, obviously, but we will talk more about this game. I think the only lineup change based on the Sens pregame warm up and what they posted again on the road, not much other media coverage. They are flipping Greg and Giroux. So it looks like it'll be Pinto, Amadio, Giroux again, and then it'll be Tkachuk, Cousins, and Ridley Gregg. So a bit of a middle six flip, but otherwise the lines stay the same. D pairs stay the same. But of course, the headline again is Levi Merlainen getting his 9th straight start here. Back-to-back starts for the kid. Ordinarily, I mean, this is 9 in a row for him. James Reimer is going to be backing up. I'm a bit torn because he played great last night. Levy had his best game of the season by a mile last night. Didn't give the Canucks anything, and he made some great saves when he had to. And that's a game that they had to win. Let's say 1 goal is a .950 save percentage. You can't really ask for much more from Levy, but they're going to have to get him to do it again. And that's the only thing. Obviously, last week, the back-to-backs did not go well for Merlainen. He got pulled very early in the Avalanche game after giving up 3 goals on, I believe it was 11 shots at the time. So wasn't ideal there for Merlainen. But based on how he played last night, you got to assume he's just kind of feeling it a little bit. And clearly the Sens just wanted to ride him a little bit more. But it's a lot to ask from him. And you got to hope that he plays well now. Like, the pressure's on him even more because if he wasn't able to do it last week, what's this week going to look like? Hopefully it's just kind of he moves on from it. But boy, I don't know, man. I mean, it's a big spot because you could have very easily just let last night happen, and he would have, not that he's done in the NHL after that. This weekend's back-to-back as well, but you'd think that they could just leave on a good note. Kind of that was his last start where he's the main guy. And then ideally I thought Reimer was going to play tonight for sure, but clearly the staff feels better about Merlainen starting tonight than they do about Reimer. I don't know if that says more about Merlainen or if it says more about where Reimer's at. Again, he hasn't played in the NHL in 9 months. Only played a few games this season, 1 in Belleville, which wasn't great last weekend, and then a couple in the Spengler Cup. But he's got to play at some point, so I don't know what they're waiting for. So maybe this is just them liking Merlainen a bit more. I don't know. It's not ideal for a goalie to go back-to-back, but if he can just give them what he did last night, maybe even a little bit less, the Sens should still win this game. The Rangers, the boys covered it today. The Rangers are struggling. Like I mentioned, 5 wins at home this season, which is just ridiculous for that kind of team, I feel like. And obviously they're underperforming a little bit, but no Igor Shesterkin for the Rangers, which is the biggest storyline. This is a guy I think is the best goalie in the NHL, hands down. And without him, this Rangers team can't keep the puck out of their own net, and they also can't score goals. They're missing Adam Fox as well, their best defenseman. So just another no excuses game for the Sens tonight. We've seen them be good in back-to-back situations last season, and last night looked a lot more like the team that we're used to seeing with the Ottawa Senators. So hopefully it's the same scenario tonight. We will see what they can bring. Goal scoring for the Sens has been a little bit dried up. Obviously, Zub and Spence scored last night, but for forwards, like you go back to the game against Florida, Zetterlund scored on the power play, but it was a bit of a fluky goal. So really the Sens forwards haven't really found their offense. They've been pretty dry here the last little bit. So I'm looking to the top boys. I'm looking to Stützle. I'm looking at Batherson, Tkachuk, Cousins, Giroux, even to an extent, right? Like those are the guys who I think I want to see get it done at even strength to score a couple goals tonight, because we've seen this team explode offensively in the past. I mean, they've done it. I think actually, no, this was the case. So the back-to-back, I think the last one they played before the Colorado-Utah one was Chicago at home and then Boston on the road. And the offense was crazy that weekend, and especially in Boston. So another game like that would be great if they can just come out here and dominate. But we will see what they can do. I am going to have Pillsey joining me at some point here in the first period. Got a national broadcast game, so it's a little bit slower. We're watching the anthems here. I don't think this one's on in the States nationally, but Sportsnet having the game today in Canada. And yeah, folks, I'm optimism's high. It should be high. They won a game yesterday, so they can make this quick back-to-back, and then getting into the weekend. The weekend, we will cross that bridge. That's a massive game on Saturday, and then another massive game on Sunday. That's going to be a crazy 24 hours for the Ottawa Senators, but it won't feel as exciting if they don't win tonight. So tonight's got to be a win. This is a team that's behind them, and if they lose, they're going to pass them in the standings. I think it's just a team that you got to kick down, make sure they're a bit further down than you. And yeah, Jonathan Quick getting the start here. I think they're doing the American anthem right now. Yeah, I don't have sound, so I won't be able to hear that. And for those of you who have been here for all of them, all the live watch parties, I think this is our 5th one right now. Obviously, very thankful. Thanks, everyone, for watching. It's been great. The feedback's been awesome. Really getting in the groove here of doing this, and I really do appreciate it. It goes a long way to helping us kind of bring this all together and just improve on things and iron out the kinks, as you say. But also, if you're new here, welcome. And I agree with that as well. The mustache will stay, no matter what, let's be honest. But if they win, it's got to stay. The forwards hats are staying. I'm doing my part. And let's get going here. It looks like we're about to go for puck drop. Meriläinen has not won a game on the road. He's 0-7 this season. 0-7, Levi Meriläinen is. So he's got to find a way. Some would say he's due. Some would say he's cursed. I don't know what it is, but he's got to find a way to get a win tonight in such a tough situation. We'll see what he's able to get done here. Claude Giroux getting the start. Looks like the top defensive shutdown line's getting the start here for the Sens with Pinto, Amadio, Giroux. I like that unit a lot. And like I mentioned, we'll get Pillsey in here at some point as well to when he jumps in, kind of break down the first period. If you want to sync up with my game, they just dropped the puck. So that's where I'm at. Obviously, when Pillsey comes in, we'll match up time-wise specifically, and you can line up there as well, but that's what I've just seen. And there's a quick save by Quick on Sanderson there. It was a nice shot from the point. Jake Sanderson had his point streak snapped last night. He was on a 7-game heater. He was still phenomenal. He was so good last night, and he's been awesome to watch the last little bit here. But yeah, I just think this is a game like the Rangers are so, they're one of those teams this season that's just going through it. So if you can get on them early here, get a couple, get one even, they're going to start getting in their own heads a little bit. Like it's going to be one of those games at home. This crowd has seen 5 wins all season. So you just got to make sure they don't see another one tonight. Batherson with a look in front. That was close. I liked this line a lot yesterday. The only line, it was basically all new lines across the board. The only one I didn't really like, and I think most people didn't either, was the Tkachuk, Cousins, and Giroux one. And they flipped that, putting Greg up with them to see if they can get a bit of a spark on that one. But that was the only one that struggled a little bit. Cousins obviously had that tough giveaway for the goal. But I've liked this line. And here they come again here. It's Batherson with a little flick play. Yeah, Batherson's a guy who's a bit snake bitten right now, but he, you could say the same thing about a lot of their forwards, just not able to find the back of the net. But Batherson did get a point on Spence's goal yesterday, I believe. He made that nice pass over, just the mirror image of each other. Here's Cousins bringing it up the middle over to Greg, and Dylan Cousins gets a nice shot on goal. It's a good start. That's going to be their first credited shot on goal. The one earlier from Sanderson, I guess, was going to go wide. I guess. And here come the Rangers coming in, though. Levy steers that one aside. And we've got a penalty on the way. Early. Not too sure who's getting it. Looks like the Sens are going to the power play. Okay. When I talk about all those guys needing to find the back of the net and get on the score sheet, it also starts with the power play. And Cousins is a guy who, say what you want about his 5-on-5 production, how it hasn't been as good as maybe we'd hope. The power play is where he gets his cookies. And if it's not going, he's not going. And if he's not going, it's not going. It's kind of a hand-in-hand situation here. So hopefully the Sens, they've had a lot of these early power plays lately too, and they just haven't been able to get anything going. So hopefully this is a different outcome here. Not too sure how the Rangers penalty kill stacks up league wide, but shouldn't matter. Here's Tkachuk, bring it to the net. It's loose. Timmy can't find it. I like that from Brady though. Right to the crease. Oh, he wanted to shoot that one. Let's back up high here for Sanderson. Over to Timmy. Down low to Brady. In the slot, Cousins. No good. They keep it alive though. Look at the passing. No shot, though. They didn't strike. When it was broken down like that, they didn't find a way to get a shot on net. Cousins in the slot. There it is. There you go. There's a power play goal to start this one. Drake Batherson on the back door. There's a point for Dylan Cousins, a point for Brady Tkachuk, and we're rolling. Let's go. Drake Batherson. I spoke that into existence. Let's look at this. That's a great presence by Cousins there in the slot. That hasn't been there. And it's a squeaky one on quick. He probably should have had that one by Cousins. He was in position. And it just squeaks through, and Drake Batherson taps it home. 1-0 Sens. There we go. The power play is back. That ends a pretty significant drought. And we're off. 1-0 start. Can't write it better than that. That's what I was talking about. This crowd's going to get on the Rangers. It's not an easy place to play here, MSG. And the Sens scoring first, we know the stats. We know everything when they score first in the first period as well. There's Levy with a big stop. All right, folks. Great start. I like that from Cousins. That's a great start by Dylan Cousins, too. He looked good on his first. Tkachuk was good there as well. And there we go. We got Pillsey. 1-0 start, buddy. There we go.
Let's go. That's the start we needed. The power play finally clicks. And Jack, I'm glad they scored there because I was about to rip them for overpassing it.
That one play. Yep.
Yeah, right before they scored, Quick was scrambling all over the place. 2 different Sens players had opportunities to shoot it, and they just kept passing it. And the passes weren't on the tape either, so they couldn't one-time them. But all is forgiven. Nice play by Brady beside the net. Get it out to Cousins. Good shot. I mean, that was probably going in regardless, but it's good Batherson was there to tap it home.
Yeah, we'll have to. That's a debate the boys can have if that was going to go in anyway for Cousins. But he gets a point on the power play, which is where the bulk of his production comes from. So I was saying the power play is going. when Cousins is going, and when Cousins is going, the power play is going. It's a hand-in-hand thing. So hopefully that gets some confidence. I'm at 1639 right now, just so we sync up here early on.
Okay, I'm a little ahead of you. There, I stopped it at 1630 right when he covered it.
I'm at there now. Okay.
Bang. Okay.
Awesome. All right. Yeah,
Quick
we're learning. I'm streaming, so I'm definitely legally though. Don't worry. But yeah, I've got it. I've got the game. We're good. We're lined up, and we got a good presence here early on in the game. I like that, Pillsey. When they start to win games, this is our first game, first watch party where they won the previous game. So this is uncharted territory for the live watch party already. And it's a great start.
We can handle it, Jack. I know me and you are used to covering terrible losses in the postcast, but we're flipping the script in the live watch party era, and we're going to start stringing along some wins here. I feel it.
We are. And I was saying that I kind of gaslit you, not that you weren't going to join anyway, but they are outscoring opponents 3-1. I'm counting this one for the score as well, 4-1 when it's a Jack and Pillsey thing. And that's significant given our postcast record over the years. So we've earned this. Maybe this is what we need to turn it.
And puck don't lie, Jack. I would have joined on time, but we were in a different studio, so I didn't have the link right away, so I couldn't join right away. But I was ready to join. I was in my spot, so that's a real puck don't lie. I was ready, so that counts. So yes, We're counting that. Advanced analytics.
Absolutely, and we all know the score, the record when the Sens score first. It's very good. Maybe don't know it by heart. I actually don't know it by heart, but we know it's good. It's good when they score first. And I know that you guys mentioned today how good they are when they lead after the first period.
Yeah, so that's a big part too. Because sure, you could score first, but if you're not able to hold that lead throughout the first period, then it doesn't do you much good. Like, right? Remember the Florida game, Jack? The Sens scored first. We were like, awesome. First time in 8 games they scored first. They're going to get off to a good start here. And then they allow a power play goal shortly after, and it ends up being tied 1-1 after the first period. So let's see them hold on to this lead, play with a little confidence, and look, Levi Merrilainen starting back-to-back games. I think we all know how I feel about that. There we go. So I was about to say, pad the lead. There we go.
Is that Nick Jensen, or did Cousin get a stick on that?
Dylan Cousins, my locked-on player.
Did he touch it?
I think
he got a piece of it. Nick Jensen.
Okay.
Wow.
Man, Nick Jensen. Woo!
All the right shot defensemen have 3 of the last 4 goals.
I wasn't paying attention.
So I was gonna say this line with Ridley Gregg now, all of a sudden I'm loving it. He's a difference maker on this line, and this has been a good start for them. I don't know if Cousins touched that, but that's a good presence in front.
Might have went off the Rangers defenseman out front there.
Yeah, he didn't react like he touched that one, I don't think, but that's great. Yeah. That's a great start, folks. That's a great start. Wow. Okay.
Well, that led perfectly into my whole spiel where I was going to say Levi Merrilainen started back-to-back games. Give him a padded lead to work with here. Allow him to be confident. Like, all right, the boys are starting hot. They got off to a lead. I just need to settle in here. And they're out again, Jack, just like last game. They're out shooting them 8-1 here. Like, this is how you start games with confidence and impose your will on opponents. So I'm loving this.
Here's another chance. Pinto. Whoa. That looked like it was offside almost, but they're still going. Yeah, I mean, you're on the edge of your seat here with their start. They're all over the offensive zone. Oh, I thought that went in again.
Oof.
Yeah, this is, I mean, you're going to get people, and obviously so much hockey left in this game, goes without saying, whatever, but they are dominating the start of this one on the scoreboard, on the shot clock, everything.
Yep.
There's going to be people being like, it's the Rangers. It's whatever. You can't have it both ways. We said it last night. You can't sit there and say, oh, it's only the Canucks, but you've also got to dominate them. And they do that and then say, oh, you know what? And Dylan Cousins got an assist on that one. So that's 2 points early for number 24, which is huge for him because he was in a bit of a slump and had a bad night last night, I'd say. So great for Cousins.
Yeah, and good for Nick Jensen. I mean, I certainly think he hasn't been kind of the whipping boy of late like he was earlier on in the season, but that's got to feel good if things haven't been going your way this season. He's been healthy scratched a couple times. Get that goal, help the boys out, and add to your point total there for Nick Jensen. So we love to see it.
So Nick Jensen last season, obviously plus minus is whatever it is, right? It's a skewed stat, but when you're a productive player at 5-on-5, you're in the pluses. And Jensen last season with Shabbat was unreal. I think he was a plus 18 or something. And it's been the
Hey,
who's that? Yeah, I mean, that's just, you just ran right into him.
yeah,
That's
this is good. You got to react like this.
Yeah, that's a good reaction there from Shabbat.
Yep.
Not who you want having to react to that, I don't think, but they really don't have a really like tough defenseman, right? It's all kind of skilled guys for the most part. So
yeah,
I guess Clevin.
Yeah, Clevin and Zub play a physical game, but I mean, Clevin still, he hasn't, I don't think he's won an NHL fight. I think he's only been in two, and one of them was up against Adam Lowry. I had seats on the glass at the CTC, and it was right in front of me, and oh boy. Welcome to the NHL.
The one in Colorado, I mean, and both of Clevin's have been off of a result of clean hits. I remember that one last season, but the one this year was last week against Colorado, was probably the lightest big hit he's thrown. And he's got to drop the gloves. I didn't like that, but anyway. Yeah. I mean, this is a great start, Pillsey. I really want to talk about Cousins here in the commercial break, because he's a guy who, when he's going, and then you start to see this center depth, and you're like, sometimes Dylan Cousins can be the best center on the team. There's nights he's better than Stützle, but he hasn't been that lately. He's been fighting the puck a lot. Already early tonight on the power play, his first even strength shift, I thought he looked great, and he's rewarded very quickly for it.
Yeah, 2 points. So that's great. And I like that they're putting Ridley Gregg on that line. Initially, I was like, it seems kind of weird, but you get two absolute dogs on your wings in Brady Tkachuk and Ridley Gregg, and that kind of forces him to be like, okay, I got to drive some offense here. Like before it was Batherson, and then it was even Giroux for a little bit there. But now it's like, okay, I got these guys that are going to work hard, get me the puck. And both of them have that mentality, like, I'm going to be a net front presence, obviously, especially Brady. So shoot first, Dylan Cousins. That should be his attitude. And he's got a great shot. And especially on the power play, we saw it there. He got set up nicely by Tkachuk. So I'm expecting big things from Cousins, and this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think the big thing with that line is just defensively, I wasn't super sure about them. They had some moments against Vancouver in the last game against Florida. I just didn't love the way Cousins and Tkachuk just kind of worry me together defensively. But then when they get going on offense, they get a guy like Gregg who's good defensively, one of their better defensive forwards. It really adds a nice element. And then that third line that had been the best in the NHL before Pinto's injury, with Pinto, Amadio, and Giroux, gets to go back together. And then all of a sudden, you're starting to see the chips fall right into place.
Yeah, although here, Jack, they've got Lars Eller out there with Pinto and Amadio, so that's
that's face-off. I think he just got off. That feels like a left side face-off. You want your left side center. Like, I bet you Giroux, there he is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They've done that a good amount, and that's why they're the best face-off team in the league, because they'll play like it's the last minute of a game in the middle of the first with a 2-0 lead and win every face-off they can.
I mean, that's smart. Yeah. Although it was crazy. We saw that stat. I think, was it Mike Kelly was talking about it, that the Sens are second lowest in goals off of faceoffs in the league, which is crazy to think when you think about all the faceoff success they have. It's still weird seeing Reimer in Sens.
I know. That's our first look of him in the jersey there. I really did think he was going to start tonight, but I mean, I wonder if the way Levy played last night kind of made them more comfortable going back to him again tonight. And he was great.
Yeah, and that's fine. And we can get into it if you want, or maybe we should save it for a break. But I obviously have thoughts on this. I think
I'm with you too.
I don't like goalies starting back-to-back regardless of the situation, but especially here when you've got a Levi Merlainen who's been played in 8 straight games and lost 6 of them in a row. I think even just his confidence was brutal. He'd been put in a spot that's unfair for him. I know he's a professional athlete and he's only 23. He can handle it physically, but mentally that's a different story. He finally has a good game, gets some confidence, gets a win. And what happens if, God forbid, I mean, it's looking good so far, but this game didn't go his way and it shattered his confidence and he gets yanked again. And then you're putting James Reimer in his first chance with the Sens in a bad opportunity. Like, it just is not good goalie management. Now, I would love to be proven wrong and Levi Merlainen posts a shutout tonight and they get the win. That's totally fine by me. But also, then you start thinking, James Reimer isn't good enough to play. Is he good enough to back up? Because what if Levi Merlainen doesn't play good and he gets put in? Or, again, God forbid, he gets hurt and Reimer's got to play. So, I don't know. The whole thing is weird to me. But I said it on the episode, Jack. I can't be that surprised by any goalie they start here, because they've been all over the place with goalie starts.
I mean, with the way that they've started this game, I could play goalie and I think I'd be okay because it's like a power play out there for the Senators right now on the Rangers. It looks like the Rangers played last night and traveled all the way back from California with the way this game started. So obviously that helps. And I think
big time.
I think the team, like, obviously they're aware of narratives. Yeah. They're aware of all the people, like us included, talking about how bad their goaltending's been. They clearly want to get a game here for Levy. They know that help is here with Reimer, if that's going to be help. And here's a bit of a chance, maybe. Oh, Levy. Ooh.
Oh, he's lucky that bounced over that stick there.
Ends up working out. But yeah, I mean, I think as a team, like, there are things you can do for your goaltending, and a start like this is perfect. Now he's gonna get called upon, like he did last night, to make some saves, and that's really gonna be where we get to see if it was the right call putting him in or not. And I just think that it's a bit of a. It's tough because with Reimer, if the book is like, oh, he hasn't played, I mean, he's gonna have to play at some point. So yeah, what's the wait here, right? Do you want him in one of these games on the weekend? I guess he was gonna play either way, but I'm not sure. I mean, this is getting ahead of myself here, but Pillsey, what if Marilainen plays great again tonight, has a nice game on the weekend if he gets one of those, and then Olmark comes back, and then you're sending Levy down to Belleville, and he's let in a few goals in his last 3 games. What are we doing here, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, last season, Jack, Levy Marilainen got sent down after a 6-0 win.
I know.
And I want to apologize to the chat. They're pointing this out. I did say the S word.
Oh no, I didn't even catch that.
I might have jinxed it. I don't know. That's hand up. That's my bad. I got to be better than that doing that in the first period. So let's hope that doesn't ruin things here. But you're right, chat. I got to be better than that. So apologies.
And for a goalie friendly show too. I mean,
I know it's bad. It's bad.
Well, if it happens, we know that can we officially declare the jinx is over if it happens tonight then?
And not to try to deflect blame away from me, because I accept my punishment if I do indeed jinx it. But usually it's the broadcaster's curse. Like, I'm not calling the game. Sure, it's a live watch party and we're commenting on the game as it's happening, but I wouldn't consider myself doing play-by-play or color commentary right now. So I'd like to say that's outside of the area where saying the S word is a jinx.
Lafreniere just walked Sanderson. That was really nice.
You don't see that often.
No. And the fact that it's, on Sanderson. Yeah, exactly. That was a really nice move. And now it's resulted in a bit of pressure for the Rangers. We'll see. Mixed line out there for the Sens. And then Sanderson gets the puck back and they're fine.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. He's just so good. He's so good.
Yeah. He can get out of any problem.
Like, the minute it's funny because you can see him kind of decide, and I think one of you mentioned it today. You can see him decide, I'm done with this. Like, I'm tired of this. Let's get out of our zone. And he just does it every time. That was a perfect example on that shift.
Oh yeah, totally. It's like Jack, when you're playing beer league sometimes, and there's the one guy that's like played in the OHL or played high level hockey, and he's just so much better than everyone, but he doesn't turn on the Jets all the time because it's not fun for him. It's not fun for everyone else. He just kind of cruises out there. It's like when he decides, like, okay, no, I'm gonna bring it now. Like, you're in trouble now. And like, Jake Sanderson does that in the best league in the world.
He does, in the best league against the best players every night. It's unbelievable. Here's some more offensive zone time. Good try in front there.
Okay, I don't mind that. That was the right idea there.
Yeah, I like this line. The creativity these guys can show would be fun. It's I like the identity that each line is starting to build, which is why I really want Green to kind of stick with something, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, this line's got all the skill on the team with Zetterlund, Stützle, and Batherson, and then you go Kachuk, Cousins, Greg now even can be a bit more meat and potatoes, kind of take it to the net, big bodies, physical, in your face, and then you go down to the third line, the defensive awareness on them, and then the fourth line here that's on right now. We were raving about them yesterday. We couldn't stop talking about them.
Yeah, totally. I hope we get to see the fourth line get a little more time, roll the lines a little more consistently here, because that fourth line has shown they can hang. And I mean, it's all veterans, so that's got to be 3 guys that Travis Green trusts more than he did when it was maybe Halliday, McDermott, Hodge, and those types of fourth liners.
The difference, I mean, like, I believe in what McDermott provided the team, and like the way they were playing when he was in the lineup, you couldn't deny it. Like, they had some jump. But the importance, especially down the stretch when you need wins desperately, the importance of having a fourth line that you can trust and put out there in any situation you want, especially in back-to-backs. They got a lot more of those this month than they've had in the early part of the season. Like you can't have McDermott in the lineup if you're going to play him 3 minutes on the road. So,
and especially if he's not winning fights.
Oh, that almost went in.
Ooh,
at the crossbar, maybe.
He looked kind of handcuffed there.
Levy just, did you see him do that on the way back?
Yeah.
It's a good block by Zetterlund they're showing there. Yeah, anyway, I mean, obviously the Rangers without Shesterkin, like already the Sens are reaping that benefit. Like I don't think Quick has looked bad, but they have 2 goals and they cannot score on the Rangers when Igor is in net. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I mean, don't discredit not having Adam Fox in the lineup for the Rangers either. That makes things easier on the Sens for sure. Like I know maybe necessarily he didn't have the best season last year, or maybe even this year. I think he's been playing good this year, but Adam Fox is a damn good defenseman, and them missing him from their decor, like you look at it, it's not that intimidating of a decor. Without
who else is going to miss Adam Fox is Team USA, and they didn't pick him, and I'm happy they didn't, because I know he wasn't that good at Four Nations, but you look at their decor, and Sanderson's a big part of it, and he's going to be a thorn in the side for Canada if they play. But it's also not a tournament, and not to get into Olympic talk here, but we will at some point. It's coming up here pretty close. It's not the Four Nations, I know that Canada and US are probably going to play. I don't know if they're in the same group, but there's so many other teams to worry about that you can't really match up to beat Canada like you could in the Four Nations. I'm just shocked that Adam Fox isn't there, man. I think he's better than Brock Faber. And then that's a decor where you're looking at like 5 of them can win a Norris Trophy, maybe, if he's there, but he's not. So they made a decision.
Especially Jack with Mike Sullivan as the coach, and he's the Rangers coach. Like it's kind of crazy that like to have him invited and then maybe not play him, have as a 7th guy, that would be one thing, but to just not be on the team at all is interesting.
It is interesting. And there's a couple other decisions, and we're actually watching 2 guys on the Rangers here who I'm surprised are on the team. But again, maybe that's the Sullivan in it. But anyway, we won't stay on the Olympic talk too long here. Showing some highlight. Obviously, the Rangers are just, I don't have the sound, but I'd imagine the crowd is not thrilled with the start for the faithful at MSG is probably letting them hear it a little bit.
Well, and I don't know, you probably didn't catch it, Jack, but before the game, they were talking about how in previous games recently at MSG, they were getting the fire Drury chants going to fire Chris Drury, their GM. So it is a toxic area at MSG. And I mean, you can't blame the fans. They're not winning games at MSG. We talked about that. They have the worst home record in the league, 5-12 and 4.
Wins. And Ross said 2 of those are in regulation. 2 regulation wins at home all season, and it's January. I mean, the Sens have had their fair share of struggles at the CTC this year, but 5 wins.
Oh,
Zub just blew a tire. That's
and especially like those fans are paying top dollar for those tickets. This is a proud Original 6 team. Like,
yeah. I mean, this is one of the best venues in the world to watch sports, and they're just not playing well here. And obviously, we're not Locked On Rangers, but I like talking about the teams they're playing during these, because obviously we can beat to death every storyline for the Sens. Send them.
There we go. Send them. Yup. Here
2.
we go.
All right.
Set this up.
Yes, Brady.
Going.
Yes, Brady.
Oh, don't even need him. Top cheese.
Brady.
How does that
Kachuk,
hand look
man.
on that shot, Jack? I think it looks okay. Wow.
Yes, sir. Wow. That's a goal the captain needed, man. This guy loves playing at MSG in an opposing uniform.
Let's go. That was Ross's Locked On player. Yeah, Brady loves playing at MSG.
Holy, what a start. And did Cousins touch that or no? No, he didn't. Eh? Ridley Gregg, 2 assists on this line. This line scored twice at even strength. 2 points for Brady, 2 points for Cousins, 2 points for Gregg. What a switch.
What a shot.
That's their best goal scorer right there. If he gets hot, man, if he can do that a bit more. I've liked his start to the game too. I think he's been a bit more on the puck.
Yeah, we needed him to get a goal like that, a confident, good, hard shot, like not a garbage goal, or like even the classic Brady Kachuk goal in front of the net. Like We wanted to see that
200.
thumb, that hand's doing good. Illustrious goal milestone for Brady Tkachuk,
Yeah,
200th goal.
what's the bit with you and the milestones? You don't like them, eh? I need to ask
Well,
you
no,
about that.
look, you should celebrate all the times you can celebrate. But Jack, for me, the milestones are 1, 100, 500, and 1,000. Like when you're just
500.
celebrating every even number, it gets a little out of control. But I don't want to sound like the milestone Grinch. So now it's become a bit where people let me know when random milestones get hit and they're celebrated. So you want to celebrate all those, that's totally fine. But I do think it's getting a little crazy.
I'd say it's less of, and I know I to an extent I agree with the, when they're going on the ice to celebrate that stuff. I think Ovi's constant milestone goals, it just kind of got out of control, and the other team started to do it. I think with goals, it's kind of neat. I mean, a guy like Tkachuk is obviously, we've been watching him every night for the last few years. It's more of an acknowledgement, I think, than anything.
Totally.
It's not like a 200 career goals. Look at this guy. And also, you look at the Oilers, right? And like McDavid and Draisaitl, they hit a milestone every year with how many points those guys get. So it's kind of, it becomes redundant. I think 200 goals is a big achievement for Brady. I think his dad had 500 is what the Tkachuk. So that's a big milestone for the captain to get.
No, it's great. And I'm happy Brady got to 200 goals. Now, because the thing also, Jack, is like, I expected Brady Tkachuk to get 200 NHL goals. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh my God, he did it against all odds. Like,
No,
like,
I agree.
Again,
I agree.
I'm not, I'm sitting in my basement in Collingwood. I have 0 NHL goals. So I can't downplay how impressive that is. But
now I think his 100th goal was at MSG in that fight game where he got 2 late. And I think that was his 100th.
I think it was. Yeah. People
like
in
it
back
was,
and let us know. Like, that's sick. Getting a
that
milestone
was sick,
goal in a big moment.
Yeah.
Love that. Let's celebrate that. Hell yeah.
I can't remember if it was the tying one late or if it was the overtime winner that got him the milestone, but it was a huge night. I'll never forget that game. And they were obviously not a playoff team that season, but that was so cool. He is when I and before you hopped on, I talked about how the Sens come to play at MSG. Like, they've got some pep in their step. It starts with Brady. He's always up for these games. Always. He loves playing at Madison Square Garden. And I love it because Rangers fans are never going to have him, Pillsey. That's my favorite part about it.
Yeah, I mean, the Larry Brooks article from what was that, last year or 2 years ago, where he was like
last season.
It was like a whopper of a trade coming up for Brady Tkachuk.
Rangers are working on a whopper. Rest in peace to Larry Brooks. Obviously passed away at the beginning of the season. But yeah, that was a whole ordeal that led the Senators owner to come out and say that the Rangers were soft tampering.
I forgot about the soft tampering era.
Yeah, the soft tampering was part of it, and it kind of like that was the first example really of the Sens stepping up for their players. And we've seen that a couple times here lately, Pillsey, obviously. But what a goal by Tkachuk, just walking in and ripping it, because like they've been overpassing, and like Cousins is in a one-time spot. Maybe Quick's thinking he's gonna pass it over. He just rips it over his shoulder. What a shot!
But I thought, and I'd have to look at the screenshots on that. Like, I thought Quick was on the right angle and good positioning here. That's just a shot that you're not going to stop. Like, that was sick.
He's got, I mean, that's the thing with Tkachuk, man. He's got this goal scoring touch, and that he's added to his game the last few years, I'd say, when he's kind of gotten into his prime. But of the guys on their team, like I don't say it lightly, he's their best goal scorer. He's led them in goals. Other than last season, he's led them in goals. I think he might have even last season, if I'm not mistaken. But it's almost been every season except for Timmy's big year a couple seasons ago. He's led them in goals. He's the best goal scorer.
Let's see. Last year,
29 last year.
29 last year. That leads them. 23, 24 led them with 37. Not even close. 9 more than the next person. And then I think 22 was when Timmy had 39. But I mean, Brady was right there with 35. And how about Claude Giroux? That year with 35 goals as well.
That was Claude Giroux's second. I think it was the most goals he ever scored in a season. Career. Yeah. Crazy. His first year in Ottawa. That was nuts.
Oh, so good.
Wonder what Green's saying to Tkachuk there.
He's saying, you keep these boys motivated. I'll give you the green light to spend the night in the city, and then we'll leave in the
I
morning.
love that you said that too on the show today. I was cackling because I think there's some bad weather in Ottawa on the way. There's a snowfall warning in Montreal, so I'm assuming it's kind of in Ottawa too. You can't let the boys sit on the tarmac if they pull this through. I mean, Pillsy, this might end up being a vibes watch party. 3-0 here. This is great.
It's awesome. Yeah. I mean, you're in New York City. You got to get the mojo back. The boys are probably stoked to be on the road. Let them have a night on the town, the city that never sleeps. Let's go. Now we got a lot of hockey ahead of us, so we shouldn't be making dinner reservations before the game.
No, I will say though, man. I mean, the way they've played and also how we see this team defensively, like knock on wood, and this will be a great clip if it ends up happening. But when's the last time the Sens blew a 3-goal lead in a game?
When's the last time the Sens had a 3-goal lead to blow?
Well, I think before Christmas they had some. They a game in Boston. They were great in against Boston. That might have been it. So it's been a couple weeks. But
that's fair.
I can't remember the last time they blew a lead this big, which is a great thing. However, lots of hockey left.
Yeah, that's fair. It has been a while. Yeah.
But again, also we have no control over what's going on the ice. So this is not on us if they blow this. But I'll take the heat. I can do it. I could take.
Jack, we're just excited. If people can't get upset, sorry, we're excited that the Sens beat the worst team in the NHL yesterday. Sorry, we're excited that the Sens have a 3-0 lead on the worst team in the Eastern Conference tonight.
Like, I mean, they got to beat them, and you got to play the games and play the teams in front of you, and that's what they're doing. I think there's no. I mean, ask Martian. Martian is a New England Patriots fan, and they cakewalked their way through the regular season. They played one team over 500, but then they go to the playoffs and they win against a pretty good Chargers team. Yeah, you can argue that they were a 7 seed, but you got to win. You can't play better teams if you want. You got to play who's in front.
Don't apologize for winning. Yeah,
absolutely not. Yeah, looking to get out of this period here, obviously, and you got to think that as the game kind of gets going, the Sens will get a little bit fatigued with the travel and the back-to-backness of it. You'll see a lot of the fourth line, I'd imagine, which is out there right now. But boy, I mean, the Rangers have 6 shots with a minute left here in their first period, and they're down 3-0. So,
and have any of the Rangers shots been good opportunities? Not really. They had that one where we didn't see the replay, where Levy kind of made it look like he got a piece of it, but
that was it.
Other than that, not much.
Yeah, I mean, they and this is Sens hockey. Like, this is what they do. They've been a good finishing team this year. Compared to last year, they've actually finished pretty well, which was the biggest issue coming into the year. And then they shut it down, and I'm expecting that in the next 40 minutes, hopefully, because this is a team that shouldn't scare them offensively. It's not like they're
no.
And I think that's what's nice is, like, they didn't waste time. Same thing against Vancouver, right? They get out of the 2-0 lead, and they don't wait and let teams hang around. They don't let the bad teams anyway. So we'll see. Here's Tkachuk now with it. Cousins. Scores!
Yeah. Oh!
Wow!
Woo!
What a start for that line.
This period.
3 points each for that new line. What a play. Ridley Gregg, difference maker, man.
He's been fitting in so nicely here. Like, he set those plays up, both of them.
Dylan Cousins, 3-point first period. And you know what's so perfect, Pillsy? I saw a tweet from a Sabres fan today saying that, look at that. Oh, what a play by Greg. Just leaving it there for him.
Such a little play, but huge.
Yeah, just a nice little drop, and he makes no mistake. What a goal. Yeah, I mean, this game's over. This is over.
Easy, Jack. Easy.
It's done. Wrap it up. Get the postcast going. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I want to hear flutes. What a goal. What a start. What a period. Wow.
Oh, they're booing loud, Jack.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Shout out our Sens fans, Wesley, Shmuel, Bolka, that are at this game. They got to be loving this.
That's a statement period from the Senators. I think, did you see the guy on the, I don't know what they're called, the usher, I guess, opening the door for the Rangers? He's shaking his head. He's going, oh my God, guys, come on. What a period.
Oh, man, that was awesome.
I have a sneaky reason why I like this so much too, and where it's happening, the time. It's a national broadcasted game. It
Yep,
matters like, if you had to flip, I'd rather them have this game tonight than last night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
agreed.
if people across Canada are tuning in, this is the Sens. This is what they do, and they're going to climb.
Yeah, especially because I mean they beat the Canucks. Everyone knows the Canucks are tanking. Like, but the New York Rangers, this is a team that still feels like they should be back in it. So it's good
Yeah.
to start off like this.
I mean, the East is so strong. So obviously, whoever's in the bottom, like the Sens are right now, with how they've played lately, you can't let your foot off the gas with anyone. So with the Rangers, especially, like I look at that home record and I'm saying, when are they going to turn it on? I'm not saying they're a bad home team. Like that's what I'm thinking. And then I think the Sens had to as well, and they are. Like, it's a credit to the whole team coming out like this. And this easily could have happened last night. They could have been up 4 or 5-0 in the first couple periods last night. Just didn't get a bounce. Lankinen was awesome.
Yeah.
And then tonight, it's fallen for them. And we're starting to see a bit of a trend here, Pillsey, because they've had a lot of games like this, sneaky amount of games where they explode offensively. I'm thinking the Washington game early in the season, the Boston game. I was at that one. That was crazy. Chicago game around Christmas, the Boston game around Christmas as well.
Yep.
They've had periods where they just completely explode offensively, and then it's a 4 or 5-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, 4-0 at the end of the first. This is going so well. All three players on that line have 3 points. Brady Tkachuk, goal, 2 assists. Dylan Cousins, goal, 2 assists. And Ridley Gregg with 3 assists. Like, Nick Jensen, a goal and an assist. Like, this is a great start for those guys. And you're really putting Levy Marilyn in a nice position. And let's hope that Levy can stand strong. And now he probably feels like there's a bit of weight off his shoulder. Like, this is a great spot for the Sens right now.
Yeah, and I think I love that. I like how people were because it's so funny, man. I liked doing these when they were losing, even just getting to talk to people during it and stuff. And the funniest thing is people being like, "Oh, I feel so bad for Jack." I'm like, I'm sitting here getting to talk about a Sens game with a bunch of Sens fans. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, the wins are obviously way better. This is uncharted territory in a good way. So far through these watch parties, we'll take you through it. But so far, it's a vibe watch party. This is the Sens goal horn's a good idea. We should get that going somehow. Like some sort of graphic I can throw up, like an overlay that would be like Sens goal or something.
I know, Jack, I'm a guest on this broadcast, but I know on the side, on the right side, there's different options. And one of them is like sound effects. I know there's like applause, a couple different ones. We usually don't mess with them because I think sometimes the volume on them can be a bit jarring, but maybe that's something we should ask producer Ross. I'm not the technical guy on the show, as everybody knows. If there's a way we can add a noise that, like, imagine we could hit the goal horn and, well, I was going to say song 2, but copyright stuff there. But the goal horn, maybe.
I think we've got a special boots on the ground option here, Pillsey. I believe we've got people mid-game boots on the ground adding to the watch party as we go here.
Okay.
We got the boys live.
What's going on, boys?
What's up,
how's it going, fellas? What a
2
start.
out of the 3 keys to victory hit. What a start. The energy in the building is the Sens fans are taking over. Rangers fans are dejected.
How good do those boos sound?
500, they're last in the Eastern Conference, but we're holding it down. A lot of jerseys. All the boys are out.
Let's go.
And yeah, vibes are high. Let's just keep it going. And it's a little hard to hear you guys because we're just in the concessions, but we want to check in and say a quick hello.
Yeah, the booths in the building are coming early and often, and we are cheering on the booths. We're really riling the crowd up. So things are good. The vibes are high. And, no notes.
We love you guys, and we'll see you back in the postcast. Keep holding it down.
Appreciate it, fellas. Awesome. Obviously, the sound's pretty good there, but that's great. That's the vibe we're looking for, especially on the road, man. Like, getting that kind of performance. Pillsy, you've been to games on the road. I've been to a few. When they're winning like that, and I'm mad at myself because I missed the one in Montreal, the second one where they were dominant, kind of like this. I wasn't there, and I was gonna go, obviously. Just that feeling, like you've been there for road games like that. I think, right? You've seen a road win.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Ross and I, we've seen 2 road wins in Winnipeg, and there's no better feeling. I don't think I've seen a dominant road win, because usually on the road it's me going by myself, and I stink on the road going to games by myself. I have to have Ross with me, otherwise it's just terrible. But when you're winning on the road, and especially like this 4-0 the first period in a dejected fan base, you are feeding on those tears, on those boos. Like, those boys got to be on cloud nine, because going into the game, I bet, especially in New York City, you're probably getting chirped. You're probably have American fans saying stuff to you about, the political stuff going on. They're chirping, they're having fun with you. And then it's like, yeah, shut your mouth. Sens are up 4-0 in the first. Let's
go. Goals, man. Unreal. So it's funny because I think depending how it went offensively, I said before the game, the forwards have to get going here because the defense scored the last game. Zetterlund's goal against Florida was a fluke. So they've been pretty quiet offensively from the big boys. And then I was looking at Cousins and Tkachuk, and with that new line, like, what can they do here? And that's like as good of a period from Dylan Cousins and Brady Tkachuk as you could have hoped for in a bounce back moment. 2 assists and a goal each.
Absolutely. And those are two guys that needed that, right? Like,
oh yeah.
People have been tough on Brady, and we've even said this has not been great hockey from the captain lately. And here he comes out with a big game. And I was critical of Dylan Cousins' game recently, and he was my locked on player. I wanted him to have a big game. So That's huge. And then if you're Ridley Gregg, you're looking up at Green, you're going, hey, you probably want to keep me on this line, eh? Don't put me back on the fourth line. I'll stick with these two guys here, and we'll keep putting up points.
I've been so impressed with Ridley Gregg's second half of the first half. Like, he had a really slow start to the season, but he's just bounced back so well. He's been consistent, playing well, and he's getting rewarded. And now he's got 3 points in this game on that line. I think he's a great addition to it. He's a guy I'm not trading, man. I know that people want to throw him in to move money around. It depends on the deal, but I don't want to let go of Ridley Gregg because he's part of this 2020 class that just keeps giving for the Senators.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to let go of him either. I think he's a valuable player that can be moved around the lineup. He has different skill sets. He can play center if you need. He's comfortable on the wing, obviously. So I hope they don't get in a position where they feel like they need to move him. And if he can play like this, he's on a good deal, and he's a young player. So, and Ridley Gregg's been a classic Sens guy. Like, obviously that empty net slap shot goal that put him in the hearts of Sens fans and has Leafs fans hating him. So that's a guy you want to keep around.
He's a guy you want to keep around for games coming up this weekend, Pillsey. I'm going to try my best not to look ahead, but holy, I can't wait for those if they're playing like this, because that's 2 huge games back to back. Those are 2 games you circle on the schedule when it comes out, because you know that the temperature is always high in those. Yep. Montreal and Detroit, the Sens, have been in the same vicinity for years now with their rebuilds. Every time they get together, it's a great game to watch sports-wise, but as Sens fans, we've actually been on the better end of most of those games for the most part, just not this season. So hopefully they're able to pull through. But that's a guy I want in those games when it gets chippy, because he can play that way, even for a smaller guy like that. I just think I'm impressed with how he's kind of adapted his game to the wing, because we saw him go back to center, and he was so comfortable there when Pinto was hurt. It was obvious he was just more comfortable. But now even that Pinto's back, he's continuing the way he played along the wall. And it's harder than people think. If you're a centerman used to playing that position your whole life, moving to the wing is not like you can just do it. Like, it's hard. It's a different type of strategy, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Like, it's a bit more difficult sometimes to play the wing, more physicality, more hits. It's a bit more skating sometimes up and down. So really impressed with 71. And yeah, that could not have been a better line switch for Travis Green.
Yeah, seriously. And sometimes too, guys that have played center or natural centers, they view it as a bit of a demotion being put on the wing. It's like, hey, you're not good enough to be up the middle. We're sheltering you and putting you on the wing or something like that, right? Like, remember when Timmy entered the league, they started him on the wing because they're like, hey, we don't want to start him at center. So some of these guys, they're prideful guys, and they're like, no, I'm a centerman. I want to play center. And so that can be tough for them to make that transition. But Ridley Gregg has that adaptable playing style that he can adjust his game when he's playing center, and he can adjust his game when he's on the wing and on different lines. So these are the types of games you want to see him have so that he can cement himself and find his way into a consistent line. Because, Jack, this team for at least the last 2 years, in their top 6, they have an elite top 5. Brady, Timmy, Batherson, Cousins, and I mean, I don't know if you would put Zetterlund as an elite top 5, but that's the goal for him there. And then it was always that 6th guy where you're like, who is it? Is it going to be Perron? Is it going to be Giroux? Is it going to be Greg? Well, Greg could, like, if Greg is your 6th guy in your top 6 and he's playing like this, you're in a good spot.
You are, yeah. And I think that's they've been searching for a mix there, and it's really I've been confident in the pieces they have up front. I mean, I even asked last night just if you had one decision, because we were talking about the defense after Spence scored and Zub. If you had one move to make, would you make a move for a winger, or would you make a move for a defenseman at the deadline? If you're Steve Stajos, they're in the mix, whatever it is. And the chat just lit up with winger. It's got to be a winger. But they've got the pieces, and the thing is, they've got a bit of a logjam. Like they have, like you said, 5, maybe 4 for sure, but a 5th is Zetterlund has played the way he has lately. 5 top 6 forwards, but then they've also got 7 bottom 6 forwards. Yeah. So what do you do with that 7th one? You got to find a home for him. And if Greg can maintain some chemistry with these two, then you found a good second line here. Like it's a great start. Obviously, they just had a fantastic period with 4 goals that they were in on. But if they can kind of consistently bring that night after night, game after game, it takes the load off a guy like Timmy at even strength. It takes the load off Pinto, Giroux, and Amadio, who have been a bit cold offensively. Amadio, for sure, I think he has 1 goal in his last 30 games. It's been really cold. So getting something on that second line or first line, whatever you want to call it, with Tkachuk there is so important.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to watch, Jack, as this game goes on, since they're on the road. I'm going to be watching how Mike Sullivan matches the lines. Like, is he going to be like, hey, sure, we've had our top players, top defensemen up against that Tim Stützle line because that's where they've loaded their talent. You look at Zetterlund, Timmy, Batherson. But now it might be like, hey, this line of Ridley Gregg, Brady Tkachuk, and Dylan Cousins is the hot line. We got to do an in-game adjustment and switch up our matchups here. So that'll be interesting to see kind of the chess game that Mike Sullivan's going to play based on the score and who's been hot for the Sens. So that's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, I feel like Sullivan, they need a goal more than they need to prevent right now. I think that's their biggest concern, because this Rangers team has really struggled to score goals as much as they've struggled to keep it out of their net, which is the recipe. If those 2 sentences are true, you're just not a very good hockey team. Yeah, if that's the case. But I think that like we're seeing with this Rangers team too. Like they are a team that scares you normally, but it's because of Igor. It's because of Shesterkin. I think in December they were in Ottawa and he was amazing. Igor Shesterkin, and he won that game for them. And the Sens lost to the Rangers on the road, or a road game for New York, but it's a different story so far in this one. This has been a crazy start. I didn't even know how to unpack it all. Like we missed a Nick Jensen goal out of all that, Pillsey. Nick Jensen finally getting on the board. I don't know if he had a goal this season. I think he had 1. So good for him getting on the board.
Yeah, I think he was at 1. I can load up the stats here. No, he had 2. 2 goals, 8 assists, -14 though.
Yikes. I mean, he was at least a dash or a +2 in that one. So that's better. Yeah, man. I'm trying to think of another way to talk about that, but the fact that it was 1 line getting it done and all 3 even strength goals is great, and it was the exact line it needed to be. I needed to see Dylan Cousins provide a bit more, and he was excellent in that period. And the tweet I was talking about, actually, so it was a Sabres fan about Cousins, obviously, and that just drums it up, and the Sabres have obviously turned things around, and they look like they're pushing for a spot. But it was that Josh Norris has 3 less 5-on-5 points than Dylan Cousins does, but he's played 30 less games or whatever it is.
Right.
And Dylan Cousins responds with 2 5-on-5 points and a power play assist as well. So not too bad, but obviously I think that's just a trade that it still makes sense no matter how many points Josh Norris puts up, because Cousins is healthy enough all the time where he's able to go through these slumps and able to work out of it, because him playing is better than not. And that's always been the case for the Sens. So he might get outscored. He might not score as many goals as Josh Norris does, but I'd be surprised if there's any Sens fan out there missing Josh Norris when they've seen Dylan Cousins out there.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to look at that trade as a whole too, Jack, right? Like if it was Josh Norris for Dylan Cousins 1-for-1, and same exact cap hit, same exact contract length, maybe you're looking at things differently, because Josh Norris is, when he's healthy, he's sick. But the health is a thing. You're saving $700,000, which is not a lot for sure, but it's something. And you got a second round pick out of that too. Now there's more, obviously there's JBD, there's more pieces that were involved in that trade, but overall I would do that trade again today if offered, for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's just his style, man. Like, I know he's not the best defensive forward, but offensively, he just makes you a better team when he's healthy, which is such a factor, because you can't talk about Josh Norris and not talk about his health issues. And I mean, the Sabres, I guess, treaded water before he came back, and they've kind of taken off since he came back, but there's also no guarantee that he stays healthy all season with his history. So it's just that thing that you're obviously not going to sit there and cheer if he gets hurt. I want to see Josh Norris do so well. Like, he was great here. But with Dylan Cousins, when he has a period like this, you sit there and say, okay, we're okay here. Like, it's not that big of a deal, especially also when Pinto goes down. When Pinto's down, then you still have that center depth to rely on.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, Pinto has done a really good job of kind of shedding that injury bug, right? Like,
For the most part, yeah.
Constant early in his career, but now, like, well, yeah, I guess he has had some injuries here and there, but it hasn't really been the serious ones like it was in the past, where he would go down and you're like, well, there's a bunch of months missed for him. So that's been a real positive aspect of the Ottawa Senators center depth as well.
Can I spin zone one more thing with Dylan Cousins before we let you go here for the second period, Pillsey? So with Pinto's new contract, paying him $7.5 million next season, Dylan Cousins all of a sudden becomes your third line center based on salary, which is crazy. And I like it. Yeah.
And I mean, that could happen organically as well, not just through kind of salary hierarchy, Jack, like through time, like Shane Pinto's only 25. I mean, Dylan Cousins, Dylan Cousins is younger than Shane Pinto? No.
They should both be, I think Pinto's a 2000 birth year and Cousins is an 01. So he is younger. Yeah. But they're both
crazy.
Both in the 2019 draft. Pinto is just, I think, a later birthday.
And so I guess the reason I'm thinking like that is because Pinto has missed so much time, because Dylan Cousins obviously has played way more games than Pinto. But anyways, that's surprising to me. It could just happen organically where Shane Pinto just elevates his game past Dylan Cousins. And that would be fine.
You could argue it's already there with the defensive matchup he plays. Like, a lot of teams would say that's our second line if he's out there that much against the top competition. So, I mean, nothing but good stuff to say about that period, obviously, which is much, much welcomed here at the live watch party. Pillsey, I'm going to let you go. That does great things for our goal differential. You might be a constant recurring first period addition to the live watch party.
Hey, I love it. I can be a opener pitcher for the live watch parties. Before I go, though, Jack, I got a question for you.
Sure.
What was your favorite goal of those four? I think I know your answer. Probably the same as mine.
Brady's.
Yeah, the Brady goal. So I just saw the replay of it again. Yeah. It's like, that was so sick.
I mean, we'll go back and Ross and I have some homework to do with the timestamps. A lot of goals already so far to go through. The most, I think, other than Colorado, that we had to go through. And I think that we're going to have to find the best reaction, but I can tell you right now, Brady's is probably the biggest reaction for me, at least. That was a big one. I love seeing the captain snipe one like that.
So good. All right. Enjoy the rest of the game, Jack. Thanks for having me. Sens fans, let's keep this good vibes going. Go Sens, go.
All right. That's been Brandon Pillar. Pillsey is out of here, and you can obviously catch him on the postcast after the game. You know, he's the co-host of the Locked On Senators podcast every day. And we are here for the second period. That was a fun one that we got to break down, which is awesome. And obviously, I know that most people in this has probably watched the postcast every time it's on, which we appreciate the support. It's great. That's where I've gotten my legs with these guys, is the postcast. But Pillsey and I have an atrocious record when it's just the two of us doing it. So when we get to talk about goals like that and talk about wins and winning hockey, it goes a long way. So still a lot of hockey left. Crazier things have happened in the NHL, but got to be comfortable with where the Sens sit. I'm just going to change this quickly as well. And as I mentioned, we're going to have Callum Fraser, writer with the Ottawa Citizen and the Ottawa Sun, joining us for the second intermission. So we'll talk to him about what we've seen, some bigger picture things. Just obviously treat it like a little bit of a podcast hit for Callum, and I'm excited to talk to him. Love talking hockey with him all the time, and he's got some great stuff at the Ottawa Citizen, so you guys can check him out. He does player grades after every game, and kind of gives each player a grade from like a school grade, like A plus, A minus, whatever, every game. So we'll see what we can get from Callum today. Maybe a bit of teasing what he's got in store for us. And yeah, I mean, uncharted territory here for the watch party, breaking down a win like this. You know, I do mean it. Like the Sens have done this enough this season where it's not even not even like a surprise when they play like this anymore. A couple times it has been in the past, but these games have happened, and they're a good hockey team. I mean, allow 6 shots and they have 4 goals in the first period. It doesn't get much better than that. It's just about doing it consistently, and I think maybe they're realizing their position in the standings that it was go time here a little bit, and maybe you can argue to want them to do that a bit earlier. But can't complain when you start to see it. Now it is a back-to-back, so the Rangers should have a bit of a push, I'd imagine. But 4 goals is a big lead to overcome. Huge lead to overcome. So I mean, they have to start pushing soon, and just I hope the Levy can stay strong here on a back-to-back and he freezes one up there quickly. Let's go through some comments. Obviously, when it's just me in here, and we had a nice that was a quick boots on the ground there from, I believe that's Wes. I don't know him personally very well, but Ross, good buddies with Ross. They live in the New York area, I think, and they go to all the games that are on Long Island, the Rangers, the Devils, always at those ones. So that's a good point. Yeah. 18, 19, 20. That's a good call out. I didn't even notice that either. It's funny. I like when that happens. So let's see what they're about here. The Rangers are starting. They got their top line out. I think it's JT Miller and Zibanejad. I imagine that's their top line. And a good play by Eller, and the puck's out. I hope Lars Eller can stay healthy for the rest of the season, because I really liked what he brings to the lineup. Here's Cousins with it again. Dylan Cousins in the slot. Oh, he's feeling it tonight, folks. 3 points already, and he wants more. Here's Greg, also wants more. To Kachuk. Big stop by Quick. Oh, that way Cousins was celebrating. This line's been unreal. Brady's look awesome tonight. All over JT Miller by the Rangers bench. Yeah, Kachuk, I mean, when he plays like this, it's fun. This is Brady Kachuk at his best, what we're seeing tonight. That's a good point, yeah, because obviously Locked On's got a huge network. They've got teams everywhere. There's a Locked On Rangers, Locked On Canucks, whatever it is. I know the boys are friendly and know a few of them around the league, so maybe we can try and set that up. We're kind of just going with this with the flow, like just adding things, seeing what works and stuff like that. I think Pillsey joining in has been great, obviously, because they've been doing well when he does. Not that has any correlation, but it's just kind of a fun thing. But yeah, it's been great to watch along with people. I'm excited to do what we're doing with Callum here in the intermission. There's 2 nice stops by Marilainen, 2 great saves by Marilainen. That's what you want to see. Nice stop. 2 nice ones, I think. Did he bat it out of the air? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so we're just going to add what we can throughout a little bit, but yeah, I think I'm so impressed with this line for the Sens, because I said, like, I'm nervous. Yeah, that's 1 big stop, and then out of the air, or he just gets over. He recovers. He recovers well. Great stop by Marilainen. Get the GCP ticker. Obviously, this is brought to you by the Glebe Central Pub. Vibes are free. 779 Bank Street. Take the Send shuttle to games Saturday. Huge one against the Canadians. Got to fill that building as much as you can. Get there if you can. I'm jealous. I'm missing it. That's a big one. So hop on the GCP shuttle. Best way to get to and from the game, and mainly from. Leaving that parking lot, win or lose, is always a headache. The GCP, taking that shuttle, just makes it so much easier. It gets you right back down to the Glebe Central Pub for some more drinks. So hop on the GCP shuttle. Check it out online. 779 Bank Street. Vibes are free at the GCP. Here comes Jordan Spence. Oh, that's a big block there. Oh, I checked the chat. Did they score? Everyone's way ahead of me. Sanderson moving it up. I shouldn't have looked. I knew it. Lars Eller, Nick Cousins going around the net, up top. Jake Sanderson. Oh, what a shot. This is a beatdown by the Ottawa Senators in New York. What a shot by Jake Sanderson. We've got an injured Ranger. 5-0. What a shot by Sanderson. That fourth line getting things going. This is a beatdown, folks. 5 goals on 16 shots for the Sens. It's a great play by Nick Cousins around the net. Just bar down from Sanderson. What a shot. All business, too. Mike Sullivan's rattled about something. Probably his team playing terribly. Or was he mad they didn't blow it dead? I don't really know. I don't think Eller got a point on that one. That was Nick Cousins to Zub over to Sanderson. But it is a Zub point. Back-to-back games with a point for Artem Zub. This one might get a little chippy, I'd imagine. I mean, the Rangers are just getting blown out. They can't win on home ice. Yeah, Clevin going at it with Carrick a little bit. Wow. What a game. What a game. Five nothing, man. I think it matters too when they do well and they're scoring goals. When it's the big boys getting it done, you know, when it's Sanderson, Kachuk, and Cousins and all that, that matters. That matters for team morale. You need to see the big guys get the puck in the net. And they've been a bit snake bitten offensively lately. So seeing that kind of come through is huge. What a goal by Sanderson. He's been so good this season. How about Jake Sanderson and Brady Kachuk putting on a show for their coach at the Olympics, eh? Mike Sullivan sitting on the bench. Not going to like that in a couple weeks. Obviously, we're going to be weirdly cheering against two of our favorite players here, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. People have asked this. I think it was the Boston game before Christmas, or right before Christmas. It was one of them. It was their 4th win in a row. They just put a beat down on the Bruins. It was similar to this a little bit. This is fun. Knock on wood, though. Great question. Yeah, Stotzel's been pretty quiet, but this is the thing. They're a good enough team where they can have other lines step up. And when Greg, Kachuk, and Cousins have 3 points each in the first period, you can kind of get away with Timmy not really doing much offensively. No quarrels with that for me. Yeah, we want 10. We want 10. We want 10. That'd be great, eh? Imagine. The Rangers did lose 10-2 recently. That'd be crazy if they do it again. Nick Jensen, a quiet 2 points. Yep. Wish we could have talked about Nick Jensen a bit more in that first period, but there was so much going on that we couldn't. Ridley Gregg's been awesome. He's been awesome. He had that good look, too, again, that he set up before their first goal, or before the first goal of the second here. Yeah, Gregg's been a machine tonight. Yeah, this is so fair. Like, you can say that, but they also had to win these games and you got to play them through still. It's also not over, like a lot of hockey left here, but I think using them as get right games before those two that are huge. You get 2 days off now, you come home. Is big, but you're right. Yeah, like the measuring stick is this weekend against two teams that are at the top of the Atlantic right now. Boy, the vibe could switch very quickly in Ottawa if they find a way to play well in those ones and get the results. But I completely agree. It's still fun, though. It's still a lot of fun when they play like this. I can't believe the Rangers, man. They just had no push right now. Down 5-0. I mean, as I say that, they're kind of pushing, but it's not threatening by any means. Pillsey and I had a bit of a laugh there, obviously, about Tkachuk's milestone goal, the 200 career goals. Pillsey made a good point, obviously, that milestone, like they're achievements, like it's like an acknowledgement, but obviously 200 goals for Brady Tkachuk is a massive, massive accomplishment. Love seeing him get some love with that. Yeah, and 9 shots halfway through the game. Like that's the thing. Like they did it yesterday and they did it today, and that's why it's not hard to play goalie for this team when they're playing well. It's very rare that they need to steal them hockey games, and I think that's why it's been frustrating that it hasn't been there. At the same time, though, I mean, it's big for Levy's confidence, absolutely, and it's more of a long-term thing for me. It's like he's still a great goalie. What he did last season was not a fluke. He's just had a bad year so far. But if he can just come and get some wins here under his belt, it'd just go a long way. And obviously there's half a game left here, but they're up 5-0, and the Rangers haven't even doubled the amount of shots. The Rangers don't have, I'm trying to think of how to word this. They have 9 shots, the Sens have 5 goals. The gap between how many shots the Rangers have and how many goals the Sens have isn't even doubled up, which is insane. Anytime that's the case, you're in a good spot. So just going through some of the comments here. Is that true? Second fastest Senator? Nick? Wow, they probably mentioned it, but that's pretty insane. I guess guys aren't here long enough or haven't been here long enough. Like Stone didn't get 200 here. I'm just surprised Alfie. Like, I mean, I guess not. Yeah, Alfie only had about 400. Only had 400. Crazy, eh? Yeah, got to keep playing. They got to keep playing, and they are so far. Like I haven't noticed them sitting back, especially in this period. But just overall, they look like they're still pushing, which is great because they got to keep that up. And honestly, folks, I mean, like Lankinen played really well last night, but they played like this yesterday as well, and maybe even better, which is crazy. There's a great save by Marilainen. That's a quality scoring chance for JT Miller. And Marilainen slides over and shuts the door. That's the confident Levy we needed to see. Wow. It was Jensen getting beat there and then off the rush. What a stop by Marilainen. In his spot, in the position, no rebound. Beautiful, 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 beautiful save. And I'm saying beautiful because it's not even... There's another nice one. Like he didn't rob him, right? Like that's not a sure goal, but he just looked confident. He looked comfortable, and he slides over and makes no mistake. And it's just like a confidence builder. Rangers are obviously starting to push here a little bit, and like that's the thing with Marilainen. Like, you just can't give him life in the next 10 minutes of the second period, and then you can kind of figure out the rest of the period. But you need your goaltender in these blowouts to stand tall and not give the other team any life ever. Look at Sanderson. Free exit. Gone. And his own entry, too. Unreal player. Wow. Rangers fans cannot be happy with this. I'm loving seeing the chat light up when Marilainen makes a big save. Happened last night, too. It's great to see. Panarin just tried to sell one. Brady's on his back. This is a weird shift here on the boards. Good play by Cousins getting that out. He's looked strong tonight. It's not just the points. Like, it's just on the puck. Like, it's going in for him, obviously, now with the assists and the goal he ripped. But he just looks stronger on the puck, making more decisive plays with it, which is great. And that's when he's at his best, and the Rangers ice it there. It's a good flurry for Levy. I mean, it's got to be easy to play goalie when you're up 5-0, but still got to make the saves. Sanderson did score the fifth. Goals went Batherson on the power play early. I think Nick Jensen, Brady, Cousins, Sanderson. I think that was the order. Timmy lost the draw there. Rangers get it out. Back up here. Yeah, just a lot of neutral zone stuff right now, but yeah, I don't think the Sens were ever like Marilainen's not it. Like, I don't think during his struggles they were saying, "Oh, this kid can't play." It was more of the Reimer signing to me is more of a let's get his confidence back a little bit. And I think the idea for that was Belleville, because he doesn't require waivers at his age and with his contract, which is a nice bonus. So I think with where they're at and how desperately they needed some saves, that's why they signed Reimer. They don't sign James Reimer thinking that Marilainen's not an answer longer term in net. You know, I think his play last night is just indicative of, like, obviously there's still a goaltender there, and it'd be foolish to give up on him. And they won't, and they're not going to. It's just kind of this season, short term, they needed a bit of a fix just because he wasn't doing it. And the workload's been a lot, but he's really settled in here. I mean, this is so far he's been pretty good in this game, and then hasn't had much to do. But he was great last night. I mean, that could have easily gotten out of control. So we'll see how it goes. They got the fourth line out here for an offensive zone shift. They should see a lot of time. Good play by Eller. Oh, Nick Cousins got it. Like, they're just everywhere, man. Oh, is Shabbat scored? I looked at the chat. No way. Shabbat. Boom. Unreal. What a game. I got to stop looking. I need things to talk about, folks. I need to look at the chat. This is a beatdown on Broadway. The beatdown on Broadway. Crazy. 6-0 Sens. And they're changing the goalie. In goes Spencer Martin for Jonathan Quick. The beatdown. Oh, that just went right in. Or maybe it hit something. I don't know, man. I don't know. You want to talk goaltending issues. Igor's not playing, which is the huge reason why Jonathan Quick just doesn't have it anymore, which kind of sucks because obviously he was a great goalie, but not tonight. Not tonight. Wow. Not to be outdone, still 2 goals from defensemen. That's back-to-back games with 2 goals from defensemen for the Senators. This has been so good. The beatdown on Broadway. This is crazy. So fun. Fourth line out there for 2 goals for this period by defensemen again. Nick Cousins has a couple points. I said I want to give myself some credit here. I said this game's over, I think, at 3-0, and now they've doubled it. It's done. Wrap it up. We should start the postcast right now. Should get Danger Flutes going. I don't know. I kind of like Nick the beat down on Broadway. I don't know. What has a better ring? You guys let us know. Beat down on Broadway or the Broadway beat down? Anyone saying this game isn't over, come on, guys. It's 6-0. If they lose this game, I will shave my head. If they somehow lose this hockey game, I'm shaving my head. Live on here. I'll get a razor and I'll do it. The Times Square. That's funny. Rich Cuz has a goal and 2 assists. Poor Cuz answers with 2 assists himself. Yep. This has been great. This is great. We needed it for the watch party. We deserve it for the watch party after watching what we did a week ago, or just under a week ago, Thursday. Watched the Avalanche hang 8 on the Sens. I sat here and soaked it in. Now we get 6-0 in the second period. Beautiful. This is a touchdown already. They just need the extra point. Can they get the extra point, or should they go for 2? 6-0 is the worst lead in hockey. Optimus Rhyme. Here's a good graphic. This is funny. 8 different teams. I mean, even if he hasn't played yet, since they've signed him, the vibes have been pretty good. Yep, 3-point nights for that whole line. Nice new look, and I'd imagine they'll stay for a bit now. It is nice to watch and just chill. I didn't like how I had to sweat it out last night. The third period, I was pretty nervous. I was sitting there. I didn't really know. I didn't like it, just because of when they got that quick goal, Vancouver. But this has been great. I'll get worried if the Rangers get to 3 and make it 6-3 at any point. I'll be like, okay, I don't know here, you know. But they could score 2 at the end of this period, and I wouldn't care. And I'm being honest. I am. But the Sens look great. Like they've been. It's not just that everything's going in. They're obviously all over the puck. They're not maybe as physical and as quick as you'd like. And that's just obviously nitpicking, but I think that's just because it's a back-to-back. Like, gotta remember they played yesterday, and this has been a awesome game. And here's Cousins up the middle again. Over to Greg. Man, this line's been fun. And it starts with Tkachuk. He's just been a machine tonight. Look at him go again on Trocheck. Keeps it alive down to Cousins. Out front to Greg. What a pass. Zub up top. Oh! Thought that went in. Because he's a workhorse from Whitehorse. That's what he is. I think they get a huge Bronx cheer there for that save from Spencer Martin. Scoreboard, watch it. Let's go take a look. Let's go. I think it's really only the Sabres and the Flyers we care about tonight. Oh, no, I guess the Devils too. Sabres are up 4-1 on Philly. The Devils are tied at 2 in the third. Yeah, that's really all we need to watch. I think for Buffalo and Philly, it's a tough one. Like, you just don't want that to go overtime. That's all that matters. But quickly, like, if you look, we'll dive into the standings in the next couple of days, maybe a little bit. But I just can't believe the amount of people who are out on this team. Like, I know that the vibe was terrible the last couple of weeks, but the amount of hockey left and just how they have shown they can play if they get some saves here and there. It's a good team, man. But they got to push now. It has to start now. They've fallen a bit too far behind. So It is a quiet night for Timmy. I'm seeing that. Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay if the boys are scoring like this. Uh-oh. Nice play by Sanderson. Holy. And here comes Tkachuk again. He's got legs tonight, man. Look at him go. Oh. Brady's all over it. Just absorbing contact. Loving this line. I agree. I think they'll be back in the mix by the Olympic break. That's what I've been saying. There's so much hockey before then. Like if they're in that bunch of teams, I think they're about like 4 points back from a bunch of teams at 51 right now. If they can get themselves in that mix, they still play a lot of those teams. So a lot of 4-point games coming up here down the stretch. Like anything can happen. And I like this team's chances with their back against the wall to make a playoff spot this year. I really do. I do. Oh, Batherson had a good look there. Look at Timmy. Finishing his check. Goal scorer Nick Jensen moves it down to Stutzlo, who shoots it. And that's the thing, when they have nights like this, shoot everything. They're shooting everything. Oh, Rangers coming back, though, the other way. Stopped by Marylainen. Yeah, I mean, folks, this is fun. This is a lot of fun. I'm going to say that all night. Do they get to 11? They've kind of slowed down a little bit. They got to score a couple more here to reach that, I think. Big hit by DP by the bench. Wow. If you, I think someone mentioned earlier. Yeah, I actually going to talk about the Rangers here. Like getting someone from the Rangers perspective on some of these streams or like the opposing team. And I think that's a great idea. Depending who they're playing, like it'd be fun this weekend to get like a Red Wings fan for a little bit and just kind of see it in a Habs fan maybe, just to see what they're thinking about the game. But with the Rangers, like 5 home wins, man, how do you even explain that? How do you even justify it? Because they've been decent. They've been really good on the road, to be honest. Like that. It's the only reason they're not dead last in the league. They have 5 wins at home. Holy, in 21 games, I think. It's crazy. I would expect an extremely low event third period. And just a reminder to everyone, we're going to have Callum Fraser joining us, beat writer with the Ottawa Citizen, the Ottawa Sun, for the second intermission. Lots to unpack in a good way. But we'll probably keep it big picture with Callum. I'll pepper him with questions for everyone. And he's obviously great. Yeah, and I'm kind of just run out the clock here. Really just looking to see how they lock it down. And this is like Levy's still going to see some pucks here. Like it's going to be a Marylainen period. Not that they need him to win them the game in the third period, but he'll see a few more shots. He already has since it's been 5-0. Like the Rangers have had a lot more looks. Actually, not really. They've only had 6 more shots this period. What a defensive effort. And I know they're not playing a world-beating team here, but got to remember how young the Sens are too. It takes some years here to build a game like this and be able to do it every night. See, like no shots here for the Rangers. It's easy to play goalie here. Keep saying that. Everything gets blocked. Yeah. Awesome. Just such a great game. I'm a bit surprised on the second half, to be honest, how dominant this has been. Sportsnet Stats tweeted this out before the game. when the Senators have a 900 save percentage this season. They have a 13-4-1 record. Last year, they were 34-9-5. The year before that, terrible season. Remember that year? They were 32-8-2 the year with Korpisalo when they had a 900 save percentage. Crazy. That might have been all their wins that season. So overall, in those 3 seasons, they're 79-21-8 when they have an over 900. Like a 900 save percentage isn't even a good game. It's not a crazy game. It's not stealing it. Just make a stop. Make a stop. Nuts. Look for some sorry, it is 3 goals from defensemen. I forgot Jensen got one. Yeah, 3 goals from the blue line. It goes a long way. When the D can jump up and provide offense like that, it goes a long, long way, boys. For the boys. There's Lafreniere on the bench. He's coughing. It was weird. Maybe a bit of an illness going around for the Rangers. Yeah, Kachuk 200 goals. Awesome. Rangers are coming in here. Oh, in alone. Ah, that's a nice goal. Nice goal. I said 6-3. I'd get worried. All right, 6-1. Put Reimer in. No, Levy didn't have really a chance there. He's all alone in front. That's just a bad change, I think. But yeah, I mean, there's 4 blue sweaters in there, and Levy gets fooled a little bit. It's all good. There goes the shutout. So Pillsey jinxed it. Everyone blame Pillsey. He said the word in the first. Yeah, I mean, there's no point in even breaking that down. That's just a bad change in the Rangers strike. However, it's the NHL, so the Sens have to keep going here in the next 20 minutes and 40 seconds. Look at Kachuk go. A beast. Good forecheck. Lost a stick, though. 30 seconds. There's been 1 power play for the Sens, and they scored on it, and that's it. It's been even strength other than that. Oh, nice move by Chabot behind the net. Oh, he takes a high stick. Did they call it? Yeah, they did. All right, so the Sens will have a power play to start the third. And that'll do it, folks. Tough one to give up, but it's 6-0. 6-0. Or 6-1 now. So that'll bring us to the intermission. We'll wait for our guest to arrive. I've sent him the link. And here he is. All right, folks. So we're going to do a new segment here. This is the first time I've had a guest, a non-LOSP guest on. I'm bringing on my good friend, Callum Fraser with the Ottawa Sun and the Ottawa Citizen. Callum, how's it going, buddy? And before we get going, what a game. What a game to talk about.
Yeah, unreal, eh? Bit of a switch up of the pace for you, especially. I tuned in a couple of times. Actually, the first one I tuned into was Colorado.
Yeah, that to date is the highest viewership one still. Yeah.
Oh, really? You think that's a lot of like hate viewership, like the way that Dangle, whenever he does his post-game stuff. I mean, the first one I ever watched of him was like, remember that like 8-1 game against Nashville where he just lost his mind.
Yeah,
oh man, like that was like almost like a decade ago. Yeah,
no, and
absolutely.
I love Steve Dangle for what he does. And like I'm guilty of it. I watch those when they're losing, so I'm all welcoming. If people want to hate watch this, I'm all for it.
Hey man, we need one in this market, so maybe you can corner that.
We'll see. Yeah, but obviously and you do it for games like this. I mean, a 6-1 lead here going into the second, obviously a late goal by the Rangers, but not much to break down with that big of a lead. So Callum, I want to ask you first about this game. I know you mentioned, I saw your tweet there about Ridley Gregg in that line. They've been on fire, and two guys in the top six who needed a bit of a boost, I'd imagine, with Cousins and Tkachuk. So what have you seen from those three?
Yeah, well, the first thing that comes to mind is like, that's a pretty good pairing between Tkachuk and Gregg, right? They kind of play like similar style. Like Brady, of course, we've heard unicorn type stuff, and he's unreal with the puck down low, but like they're both these kind of gritty players. And I think that maybe both of them kind of needed each other to get going a little bit here, because I think each of them has kind of been lacking in that kind of mentality, that kind of classic style that they like to play, that they've been well known for. And I don't think, tonight it's not exactly like they're bruising the Rangers and Gregg's getting pesty in front of the net. Like the forecheck is unreal. They have incredible like tenacity and they're hounding pucks right now and just hemming the Rangers in. I mean, I don't know if I think you're not listening to the broadcast, right?
No, I got no sound, and it's not that bad all the time.
6 minutes into the first period, the Rangers fans were booing. 6 minutes in.
6 minutes?
Like, yeah. And the end of the first frame booing. Like this is, I mean, there's been so many first periods this year where the Sens will come out and dominate, right? Like you look back to 9 days ago against Detroit. And far too many times you end the first period and the score is like the complete opposite of what you expected. And tonight, if you had asked me after the first 20, like, what do you think the score should have been? I would have said 4-0. It was the exact thing that I expected from how they played. And you know what? So Gregg on all three great passes, and Tkachuk and Cousins, like really, really strong shots for their goals. But I want to shout out, like, Dylan Cousins had a role in every single one of those first three goals.
He's been awesome tonight.
His shot, led to Batherson's little tap in. Obviously his own goal, and then he's pushing the defender into Quick for Jensen's goal, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So I think there's two guys on that line that like Gregg's played really well recently. Tkachuk and Cousins needed a game like this, and apparently they only needed 20 minutes to do it.
Desperately. And even I'll point out the second period, I thought that they've had more looks, like more passes, like you said. Cousins right at the end there had a great one behind his back. Gregg just wasn't able to find it. Like they've looked good, and I think it's a result of a nice line shuffle there by Travis Green. So I wanted to ask you though, just about the
you got to put your hand up on that one, eh? Well, listen, I've been hounding some goaltending recently, so hand up. Levy Marilynen's playing great, but you got to put your hand up for the line shuffling, right?
So
because he's found it.
My issue with the line shot, and I do want to talk about Travis Green because I was going to mention your piece the other day, and obviously talking about how Green is as absolved from a last place team in the conference at the time as any coach that we've seen recently. But we'll get into that. My issue with the line shuffling was during the game, like on Saturday against Florida, I thought it was just a little bit too much, because when you're on a line, you need to build some chemistry, and you can't go back to the bench and then have it shuffle. Like you need to build it shift by shift and talk to each other. And I get they needed goal scoring and they were desperate, all that.
Yeah. By the
way, I want to ask you about
Travis
Green.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah. That's one.
You're absolutely right. Like in the in-game kind of stuff, yeah. I think I'd much prefer a coach try and figure something out through like riling his players up by just screaming at them, right? Or like, we took a look at some video in the intermission. Here's what we're going to try and do. But like, you guys got to figure it out, right? Like it can't just be blender type stuff. It's funny. I looked back at when I was writing that piece, I looked back at a few of the coaches that I've seen in my time covering this team. And one of the complaints was always blender type moves with the line. So I think it's just like an epidemic in NHL coaching and has been for a very long time.
It could be. And actually, so with Green, I'll touch on Green, and then I do want to ask you a bit more about Ridley Gregg and his fit in the top 6. And this is in a vacuum. It's been 2 periods, but they've looked great. So with Green, what have you noticed, I think, maybe in the last little bit? And obviously, you've just gotten going here full time with the Citizen and the Sun, but just the tone around the team and the way he's maybe carried himself in press conferences. I really liked what he said after the Florida game. It's frustrating to hear sometimes, but when they're playing this well, I don't really want a coach going out there and ripping his guys to shreds publicly.
Yeah, great point. I think that like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, his tone dramatically changed. I mean, let's be honest, like for a lot of last year and especially early this season, like Travis Green seemed pretty fed up. He's known to be like rather dismissive in press conferences. And it's funny, 2 weeks ago, it's almost like he let his guard down, like it did a 180 and kind of, kind of threw his hands up and said, like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, and he wasn't as explicit, but he'd be asked about the goaltending. And in months and years and seasons prior, he would really like jump down a reporter's throat, so to speak, and say, and go, protect his goaltenders, right? And rightfully so. It takes a lot for a coach to acknowledge how poor their goaltending has been. And I mean, I think back to how he addressed the media after the Detroit game, after the Utah game, after the Colorado game, and especially after the Florida game, right? He's kind of just there and soft-spoken, but actually giving more than he ever has. And especially after that Florida game, he was like, listen, goaltending hasn't been great, but you know what? Tonight, we didn't help ourselves. We were not desperate at all. And he mentioned both sides of the puck, right? I think that the Vancouver game was, I'd say, like considerably better. I don't think they had their A game, honestly, against Vancouver. I think they could have been a lot more aggressive around the net area. And that's one thing that he pointed out after the Florida game. I will say tonight, though, like defensively, they've been great. Yeah. But every single aspect of what you want in like a hungry team, they have, right? Like net front presence has been perfect. The cycle I mentioned on Twitter, it looks like they're the Globetrotters out there. And I think, I don't know, the NHL does a weird thing with how they count giveaways and takeaways, and it's so inaccurate. I learned that from covering Mark Stone for a long time. Like he would lead the league in takeaways, but he should have had double like every single year. But I'd hazard a guess, if you watched this game very, very closely and were a statistician for the league, you'd come away thinking that every single forward on the Sens has at least 2 takeaways. It's a remarkable night for them. They are going on all cylinders, and unfortunately, like this New York Rangers team has just totally given up. So you kind of have to acknowledge that there's something messed up in their psyche right now. But you got to give kudos to the Sens. They are a dominant team tonight.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what we're seeing from the Sens, we've seen a couple times this season. They've exploded for periods offensively more than they did last year, which is reason to believe that they've taken a step. And obviously goaltending's held them back. Levy's been good tonight. He was good yesterday, which is good to see. I want to ask you to go back to Ridley Gregg, because I think a lot of people would assume the Sens have 4, probably 5 top 6 forwards, with Zetterlund kind of coming into his own lately. And I think a lot of people have said they need a top 6 winger to be a serious team, top 6 winger. There's some options, though. They've tried new guys, and Gregg tonight has really stepped up. If they can find a look there, how do you feel like that fits in the short term this season anyway with the other lines? They've got a skilled one with Stützle, Batherson, and Zetterlund, that shutdown line with Pinto, Amadio, Giroux, and then that fourth line, all cup champs, David Perron and Lars Eller and Nick Cousins. How do you like the look of their 12 forwards tonight with the way that line's played?
Yeah, well, I mean, like the Tkachuk, Cousins, Gregg line specifically. Yeah, I mean, it took 48 games, but I think Travis Green has figured something out here. And, we talked a lot on last night about how unreal that fourth line was. And like specifically, like you mentioned, like in a vacuum, they've been great themselves. But what does that do, right? When you not only can get good minutes from your fourth line, but they played, I think, around 10 or 11 minutes together at 5v5 against Florida. And what that does for the rest of your lineup, like not only is it great to have good pressure, sustained ozone time from your fourth line because you're not expecting it, but what that does, like, I mean, look at how much better Jake Sanderson has been playing with the fact that you have a second and third pairing, excuse me, a second and third pairing in which Travis Green trusts a lot more at this point in the season, right? It's great to see Jake around 23, 24 minutes a night. And I think that this team, if it's going to have long-term success and go on a bit of a run, the fourth line does exactly that same thing for the top nine, right? Like, I don't want to see Titty playing 26, 27 minutes a night. Like, he's not Connor McDavid. He's unbelievable, but he does not have that, right? He needs to play a very, very, like, tight 21, 22 minutes. And that veteran line's doing it. Nick Cousins is playing some of the best hockey I've ever seen him play.
2 assists tonight. And I think another point about that fourth line that, they've been a lot at even strength. So there hasn't been a lot of special teams. And that's when you get Timmy getting out there for 25 minutes a night because he's playing on both. But that fourth line, what it does, and specifically without Curtis McDermott in the lineup, because you can't deny that, yes, the Sens had some jam in their game when he was playing, but he was on the bench. He was playing 3 minutes a night, not effective, and they're rolling 11 forwards essentially. But what it does, especially in back-to-back situations like this, gives the guys a breather. Like you mentioned, you can throw out that fourth line last night for close to 13 minutes each, I think they played. And you can do it again tonight. I'd imagine we'll see them quite a bit here in the third period after this first power play. I think it's been great, and I really hope that Eller is a guy specifically who can just stay healthy because he's a signing I really liked in the offseason by Steos, quietly productive for what he can be on the fourth line. And like you mentioned, they've been great. Nick Cousins, I think, looks way better than he did last season too.
Yeah, I think that maybe one of the underlying stories, maybe we'll talk about this in the next few days or week if this line can stay together. I think Nick Cousins, not only is he playing great and a couple points tonight, that's awesome. I think he's helping Perron, Eller elevate their games because both of them. So Perron his foot speed's really been lacking this year, I think, and he's had a really difficult time kind of making an impact with really, really like low minutes, right? And I think, a similar situation that Eller's in right now is he's coming back from a broken foot. And I've seen slight improvements every game, but it still looks like he's a bit behind the play. I think Cousins, like being that water bug, being that guy that is going, I can say this on YouTube, balls to the wall, into the corners and being great on the forecheck. It really allows Eller and Perron to like kind of get an extra second to read that play, maybe take a shift at kind of the F3 position. And because I think they're much smarter players than Cousins is. And not to say that Nick Cousins isn't a smart player, but like those guys read the play really well. If they can have that extra second to get in on the forecheck after Cousins, I think that's going to work wonders for them.
It's been great, yeah. So I think obviously the conversation leading into the Olympic break, wherever they are in the standings, you'd imagine they make some sort of push here. Looking great tonight, just with the deadline. What's an area now with this 12 forwards? And I'll maybe leave you on this one, Callum, but a spot in their game you think could maybe be improved with outside help, because now we're talking that was kind of also what I'm getting at with that Greg thing. You'd think a top six forward, and then all of a sudden really Greg steps in and everyone's slotted properly. That Nick Jensen starting to play a little bit better as well. I don't really know what you look at, and I can just kind of see a scenario here where Steve Steos says we're all right.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned it a couple of times. This team's good on paper. They really are. And the problem is they don't, everyone knows it. They don't have a lot of high picks. And the prospect pool, right? Like, hopefully Yakimchuk turns into what we think he's going to be. And I've really liked Stephen Halliday's game. I disagreed with him being sent down, but you know what? The fourth line's playing really well, and it's not going to hurt to get more AHL time. Logan Hensler allegedly, I didn't watch too much, but allegedly didn't have a great World Juniors.
I didn't watch a minute, but he's all right. Yeah, I think he's fine. He's defensive defenseman.
Yeah, you didn't watch much World Juniors, and neither did Minnesotans. The problem is, like, you want to upgrade, right? But you don't have prospects that you can afford to give away. You don't have picks that you can afford to give away. So what are you looking at? Well, to upgrade on Jensen and in the fourth line position as well, what kind of package deal is that going to be like? Like you're not going to trick anyone to thinking that like Nick Jensen's having a good season, right? I'm the first guy to say that I want this. I'd be happy for this guy to be playing better right now. It looks rough for him out there. And tonight he's played really, really well. Let me point out one thing. We're going to talk about the goal a lot, but what happened 20 seconds prior was he avoided a double team forecheck and quick little pass to Shabbat, easy breakout, and then he gets rewarded down in the offensive zone. So he needs to be doing a lot more of that stuff. But back to the the original conversation that we were having about the trade market, I just don't see like what could you possibly package with a Jensen to get a right shot top four defenseman? What could you possibly package with, I don't know, like, I don't want to throw a name out there. I have no idea who Staios is actually
all speculation on the live
out there.
Party.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
But I just don't like Dylan Cousins. I would like him to stay a Senator, and trying to improve his game here. The center depth is great. I just don't see like what you can sprinkle in with a veteran guy that you'd like to upgrade to get a quality player. There's not much going right now. So unless you're going to further mortgage the future or, try and hit a big home or the blockbuster trade, which right now I don't think that's a good idea. Like you're kind of right. Like Staios might be damned if he does and damned if he doesn't right now. But I think that sitting on your hands and hoping the team plays better and hoping that like Levi Merilainen can continue to show that he's, an NHL goaltender, and hopefully Linus comes back soon. And it's kind of what it is, Richie.
All right. Appreciate you joining me, Callum. It's been great. Obviously having first non-LLC guest on here. This has been great. So hopefully we can make this a bit of a recurring thing on the road games for the rest of the season. I know you've been doing the player grades after every game, and you had that piece on Green this week and another one as well. Can you maybe tease what we got cooking? If you have anything cooking, if you don't worry about it. But just let people know where they can find your work and what they can be looking out for.
A lot of A's, maybe a couple of A pluses tonight. That's what I'm cooking tonight. Yeah, there's a few things I'm interested in, and that we might have early next week, but we'll let your imaginations run wild. But I'm excited. I love doing the player grade stuff and the game stuff and the analysis, but what I really want to do is tell some stories. So thanks for having me on, buddy. Anytime.
We'll make this a recurring thing, obviously. So that's been cool. Callum Fraser, obviously with the Ottawa Citizen, and his son on the beat with the Ottawa Senators, and appreciate Callum joining me. Obviously, him and I have worked together before. We worked together with the 580 CFRA. So it's great to have him on, and I love talking Senators with him. Great mind to pick. So hopefully everyone enjoyed that. Let's see what they can do here on the power play. Third period's underway for the Sens and the Rangers. The beatdown on Broadway here. 6-1 Sens lead. Got to change that quickly to the third period every time I do that. And yeah, I think some interesting things we could talk about, obviously, that Callum brought up that I completely see him on. And I think that Green finding something with this top six has been a storyline that's kind of percolating a little bit, and obviously them having this big of a game is huge, but you gotta like what you've seen from Ridley Gregg lately in general, but also in this game specifically. He's rejuvenated Tkachuk and Cousins so much. Who have been pretty, like Callum mentioned, not I don't want to say lifeless, but just not quite at their best the last few games for sure, and especially last night. I didn't like what we saw from those two, but they've been great tonight. So hopefully they can keep that chemistry going game by game. We'll need them. Sens are going to need them next weekend. Second power play units out there right now. Obviously, anything here is gravy. I might say something that might sound a little bit, well, the DP just whiffed on one in the slot. It's going to sound a little bit ridiculous. Obviously, they're up 6-1, and this is fun. But because the game is effectively over, the Rangers have 12 shots through 2 periods. It'd take a miracle to come back at this point. It's kind of boring. We get to just vibe, and we get to talk about what's going on with the Sens, and in a good way, finally, which is great, but there's not a ton to watch in the game where you're like nitpicking or pointing out, but I'll obviously still be watching. That's what the live watch party is. I'm learning how to. I'll put it this way: if I was doing the postcast tonight and this was a postcast night for me, I'd still watch, but it'd be more of a casual watch and not looking for anything of substance I'm going to point out because that's already happened, Oh, it's a good look for Sanderson in front of the net on the power play. Just missed. Nice pass by Timmy. Oh, almost. It's a good save by Martin there. Let's tilt that down a little bit for everyone. Yeah, it was close there for Sanderson. It was a nice feed from the captain. Shot by Zub, stopped. Obviously, everyone stay tuned for the postcast that's coming to you. It'll be a big vibe cast from the fellas. That's a much needed vibe cast because I think yesterday was a bit a mix of like, we're can't get too happy, whatever. And I could hear it with the boys. Like it was okay, finally they won. But this one is one that danger flutes will hit tonight. And here's Pinto alone in the slot. Stopped by Martin here. I wonder what's going on in that building. If you're a fan of the Rangers team, just completely outclassed in the first 40 here, and they've got a big mountain to climb. There's a nice stop by Marilainen. So this is a game maybe in a blowout like this, a blowout win. A guy like Michael Amadio is staring down 1 goal in 30 games here. You're not relying on him for offense, but you'd like him to chip in because he got hot. He was hot before this goalless streak, I think. He had like 5 goals in 6 games or something like that for Amadio. But in a blowout like this, you'd love to see Amadio just be able to get that monkey off the back a little bit. I think good example is Zetterlund. I remember I was at that game. I was at the CTC. They just routed the Bruins. It was 7-1 or 7-2 or whatever it was. And Zetterlund scored the 7th goal on the power play, and it was his first of the season. It got the monkey off the back. And it did take him a while to get going after that, though. But yeah, like a goal like that, right? Like just one like completely garbage time goal. Does not matter. But in the grand scheme of your season, it's great to get the monkey off the back. I'd like a Michael Amadio goal here in the 3rd period. That's what I want to see. I want to see Michael Amadio get out of this slump. There's Greg. Lost at the blue line a little bit. Kachuk with a chance. Brady's been all over it tonight. Love to see that. His best game of the year for sure. Not even a question. Cousins probably too. I think those two though, like if they're good together, that's a great like secondary scoring option or maybe main scoring option. But they just need to find some chemistry, and they have obviously tonight, and they have it in general, but doing it consistently at 5-on-5 is important. Spence, I mean, it's been all Sens here to start the 3rd period. This is fun. Not laying back. 4th line, I'll probably see a lot of ice time. Second half, back-to-back, up 5 goals. Rich and Porcuz have had great games. Completely agree. Uh-oh. The Rangers score. Yeah, here they go. 2-on-1. I looked at the chat. Perreault again, man. It's a nice goal. All right. Let's I said I'd get worried at 6-3. I said I'd get worried at 6-3. We're not worried yet. Not even close. Not even close. Just score effects in full effect right now. We get word at 6-3. The chat is a few people are ahead of me. That's just a nice goal by Perreault. That's really nice. Nice goal there. All right, 6-2. 6-2. I will lock back in at 6-3. I'll get a little bit more into it if they make it 6-3. I'm not on Levy on any of those, though, by the way. Wide open in front on the first one, and that's a 2-on-1, and he cuts back. However, that being said on Marilainen, he's got to stop the ones he needs to stop still. There's enough hockey left for that, I think. Yeah, Perreault's had two pretty crafty goals in front of the net. Been all alone. Oh, did that go in? Oh, Timmy! Oh. Close. No way. Norris got hurt again for the Sabres? That can't be right. I mean, it very much can be. We'll have to see that. I mean, only look on Twitter. Trying to see Josh Norris. And not even just from a like he's an old Senator. Like the Sabres are ahead of the Sens here, so like a hurt to their lineup is a Norris will not return to tonight's game. Unbelievable, man. It looked like his midsection again. I just saw a video of him kind of looked like he tweaked something. Tell you what, folks, on a night where Dylan Cousins has a game like that, you just sit there and be thankful because the Sens just couldn't keep going through that where he just keeps getting hurt. It's difficult. And obviously we don't know the extent of it, obviously. And I'm not trying to go big picture or anything like that, but Cousins has played every single game and he's durable. Even if he's not playing his best, he's still playing, which is better than mixing up the lines and all this. So, and he's been great tonight, so it helps. Yeah, Norris was huge for Buffalo. Like they were really good when he was back. So any part of, and Nick, I know everyone says luck with injuries, but at some point, like it's not a luck thing. Like guys are durable and guys go through a lot, and if it keeps happening and keep recurring, and I'd imagine like his shoulder stuff led to other injuries just based on the rehab and everything he went through. Like I feel so bad for him. Don't get me wrong, but like if it keeps happening, it's not a luck thing. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, we are talking about Josh Norris. He went down for the Sabres, which again, Sabres are ahead of the Senators right now. They've been hot, and they've been hot because Norris has been back. That's a significant loss if he's out for any amount of time. And on a night with Dylan Cousins having 3 points, it obviously helps that he's playing well to feel that because the Senators are not missing Cousins out of the lineup. But what a shot by Sanderson. Showing a highlight pack of him. I love that. As they should. Oh, Giroux was almost off to the races there. Blocked by Sanderson. Steal by Sanderson. He's so good. Here's Perreault again. I do miss Norris. He's a fun guy to watch, man. Like his knack for scoring big goals too last season, even right before he got traded, was unreal and something I think the Sens missed for a little bit here. But I see the vision with the trade. I mean, like Cousins is having a up and down season, and he just kind of gave it away there. But he fights through it, finds it. Now he's off to the races with Tkachuk a little bit. Oh, yeah, he did. Love from the UK. Please get me a win to get through sleep-deprived day of work. Man, are you if you're a Sens fan in the UK all the time, then I don't know how you deal with that, but appreciate it. Thanks for the love. Yeah, I think that's it. Is that in euros? That's cool. I've never seen that before. The little 5. Appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, Nick, I agree, man. Norris in his office was a lot of fun to watch. That year, he had 35 goals in 66 games or something, I think is what it was. Just a crazy pace. Crazy. But again, why does he play the 66 games? It's the injuries, and it's it's unfortunate reality. So we'll see how the Sabres are able to do. I think they won that game, or I think they are winning or about to wrap it up. Yeah, it's 4-1 in the third for the Buffalo Sabres over the Philly. Looking at we'll dive into the next couple of days because a win here for the Sens obviously is going to go a long way. To them climbing back up in the race. But if you look at the Metro and like third place in the Metro is also kind of in the wild card race, if that makes sense. Like the Flyers were in it yesterday and then Washington won. So Washington took them. Then all of a sudden the Flyers are out of a playoff spot because two teams in the Atlantic in the wild card spots have better records than them. It's the Bruins and the Leafs as of play tonight. So I think we got to watch third place in the Metro as well as watching the rest of the teams fighting for the 2 wildcard spots. But also, if the Sens win 2 this weekend, like I said it to Pillsey, like we're gonna have a whole other different conversation on Monday if they're able to pull out 4 points this weekend. But 11 and a half minutes to go before that. We talk about that. Oh, and it's in. Is that DP? Is that a fourth line goal? The value of this fourth line, man. The value of this fourth line, 7-2. The beatdown continues. I believe that's the third game the Sens have put up a 7 spot this season. Goal scoring is improving. David Perron behind the net. DP behind the net. What a special combination that is. Wow. But the value of this fourth line, they've provided 3 goals tonight when it was kind of already over. It was 4-0. But you look at the score without them, if they don't provide that offense. And the goals I'm talking about are Nick Cousins working it up, good shift, up to Sanderson, goal. Same thing with Shabbat's goal, Nick Cousins to Shabbat, goal. Fourth line, on for 2. And then that one by DP, that's 3 goals. It's a 4-2 game without them, assuming everything played out the same way. Like that, the value of this fourth line, I think Callum was right, man. I think Travis Green's found something. As much as it hurt for Halliday to go down, I think DP just took a penalty there. He's going right to the box. As much as it hurt sending down Halliday, this combo that they've got now on the fourth line, huge. All cup champs know how to play the right way and play roles. That's a big hit there. Yeah, fewest games to 200 goals in Sens history. Brady Tkachuk just beat Jason Spezza by 9 games. It's pretty impressive, man. Slowly climbing the ranks and all-time greats for the Sens. Oh, the boos are probably just raining down at MSG right now. B-Sens won in Laval. If James Reimer was still in Belleville, I was going to go and get a press pass because I'm here in Montreal, so I would have gone to that game instead. But I'm glad I'm watching this. Imagine the one game I missed in this streak of doing all of them. Was that was this 7-2, the beatdown on Broadway? There's a good chance there for Miller. This is fun. I've been obviously they needed to win these 2 games, but I've been actually stunned at some of the apathy or some of the apparent apathy, and not to use huge words there. I know the way that apathy had set in with this fan base. We'll off the post there for the Rangers, because of some tough losses, but like that stretch of games, the Detroit one, I stopped there by Levy. The Detroit game, they outplayed them, and that's a team at the top of the division that they competed with. They were better than that whole game, but their Levy was just not good enough at all. And Shepherd was not good enough when he came in for relief and lost in that game. The one in Utah, I don't know. That's a tough road trip. I just look at the Leafs, who were hot, and they found a way to win in Colorado in overtime, and then it goes to Utah, they get pumped. So that's a tough one too. You look at that sample, and then you come home and it's, here's the defending back-to-back Stanley Cup champions who are starting to find their groove. Here you go. Like it's tough, man. That's a difficult schedule, and not absolving them, because before that they weren't playing well either. They weren't doing well. Blocked by Clevin, and the Rangers pick it up. Okay, 7-3. This is just a bit of a gong show here. Rangers are, it's one of those games. It was 6-0, and then it changed. That's tough. Yeah, Clevin blocked. It's a bad bounce. Lafreniere, though, it's a nice shot. But what I was saying is the apathy that has set in or seemed to from Sens fans, man. Like people just saying the season's over, cancel it. Like, I don't think that's fair at all to this group. And I'm not going to toot my own horn, but you guys saw me. I sat through 3 of those 4 losses in a row, and I sat through yesterday, and I talked to everyone and walked us through it. Like the losses stunk, but they're not dead, man. There's so much hockey left, and this team is good enough to go on runs. I did a little post today on Twitter saying that through 45 games, what they've played now, this is game 46, they have 3 fewer points than they did at this point last year. And we know what happened last year. I think they went 22, 12, and 3 down the stretch last season to make the playoffs. So they maybe have to do a bit better than that, given how tight it is and whatever it may be, but they're absolutely capable of it. So I don't understand why people were writing off the season. Dead last in the Eastern Conference stunk, and that's not a good spot to be in no matter what. But I mean, come on. Like, they're a playoff team last season. They've improved in every metric basically this season. It's just the goaltending that had sunk them, and still winning games. So, or finding a way to win. And like the stretch they had without Tkachuk, and like big picture, I think this is still a team that can do damage in the playoffs if they make it. I'm not kidding. Like, call me crazy. I know they're still not in the picture right now, but there's so much hockey left. Yeah, and this is the thing. Like, some of the performances at home were brutal around after Christmas specifically, but there's just a lot of time left. A lot of time left, folks. A lot of time. Yeah, and this is so people have pointed this out. They need to win, 7%, 700% or whatever it is. That needs to be their points percentage. It maybe, and obviously, if they do that, they're putting themselves in a great spot. But last year they had a 625 points percentage, I think, down the stretch after 45 games, which was like top 10 in the league or something like that. They probably need to be a bit better than that. I don't think they need to be specifically at a 700 points percentage. And the thing is, we don't know. They don't know. If there was a crystal ball and it said you need this many points to make the playoffs, absolutely, then yeah. But there isn't. You don't know how teams are going to play and lose and whatever it may be. And they play each of the teams they have to chase at least once, sometimes twice. A ton of 4-point games coming up. Couple that with who is at the top of the Atlantic Division right now. It's Detroit and Montreal, who two teams that could have a stretch coming where they're not winning as many games as they have been. I don't think you can bank on it, but you can start this weekend by winning 2 huge games against those teams. Saturday night is a massive game for the Ottawa Senators. Massive. But it's also big for the Montreal Canadiens. It's just a big rivalry game on a Saturday night. I can't wait. And you know where we're going to be? Right here. The watch party's sticking around, folks. Eight minutes left. Nice stop by Levy. I mean, Maryland's probably tired. This is the back-to-back kind of showing here, and like the Sens are obviously sitting back a bit. 4-goal lead, 8 minutes to go. Yeah, like I said, not a ton to comment on in this period. Just got to get out of it. Got to run the clock, run the ball, pound the rock. So Sunday is going to be interesting too. So I'm going to do this again on Sunday, but we got another Bears game that night. Huge one, obviously a playoff game against the Rams. So I'll be a little bit distracted, but I will not be. It starts at 6:30. Sens are at 5. So good look by Stutzla there. They wanted 8. They wanted the extra point here. They've got the touchdown already in the extra, or they wanted to go for 2. Yeah, it's a massive weekend. Huge weekend coming up. I agree, Sens fan Frank. I love Harden Singh. I think he's a great play-by-play guy. So the game on Saturday is in Ottawa, and then Sunday is in Detroit. So home game against the Habs and a road game against Detroit. They are done at the Bell Center for the regular season. They're done at the Bell Center this season. They got those 2 out of the way. I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends where they're at. They have 2 more days here. It can't be a back-to-back again for Maryland. And like, you can't drive this guy into the ground like this. Depending on Olmark's status, obviously, we'll see. But I would imagine it's one of those games goes the Reimer. I wouldn't hate him in Detroit. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's kind of I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, to be honest. I'd like Levy to get a home game, though. He's been good at home. If this holds, it'll be his first road win of the season. He's 0-7 this year on the road, so. $6:13 left, 7-3 Sens. Forgot the Rangers could have picked Tim Stützle and Jake Sanderson. Ooh, that's a tough one to swallow. Tough pill to swallow if you're a New York Rangers fan. God, this team with Jake Sanderson and Adam Fox playing in front of Igor Shesterkin, they would have won a cup. And they were close, man. A couple of years ago, they had a good team. Led by Igor, obviously, and he's not playing. The 7 spot emphasizes that. And in the 10 spot the other night, like, their goaltending is hurting without him. Here's a 2-on-1. Nick Cousins. Oh, he lost it. Looking for the 3-point night. He knows it. People are saying give Reimer Detroit, it looks like. Yeah, I'm with that. I want Levy at home, I think, if he's playing like this. But also, if Ullmark's back and they send Merrilainen back down, I'd imagine you give Ullmark the home game, first one, and then go Reimer in Detroit. I don't know. But it's got to be a split. I'd like to see 2 goalies this weekend. Enough of this, like, back-to-back situation for your 23-year-old. I know he can handle it, but, like, it's just not a good spot. It's not fair. Reimer revenge game would be good. Yeah, played for Detroit a couple of years ago. He can have a revenge game against like 7 other teams in the league now. Boys, Zibanejad's just struggled in this third period to make a pass. Oddly enough, I feel like Stützle's had his best period in the third here. It's 7-3 and they came in 6-1. It looks like he's hungry for it. Maybe he wants a point. That's why. Shabbat flying. Oh, nice little feed there to Zetterlund backdoor. Come the Rangers. It's been pretty end-to-end here. In the slot, scores again, 7-4. Are we worried? I mean, this hasn't been a clean third period. This has been the opposite of what we thought, but I mean, they were up 6-0. I feel bad for Levy's save percentage. I'll get worried at 7-5. One more goal and I get worried. With the amount of time left. One more goal. They're fine. They're fine. There's 4 minutes left, guys. Like I said, if they lose this game, I'm shaving my head. Dude, a crazy comeback. Oh, did Brady just take a stick in the face? Oh, he's not happy about it. Here we go. .402 left. They're up by 3. Should be fine. Brady draw one there? I don't know what's going on. I saw the little stick play on the face-off. Oh! Yeah, a whack in the face. Can't do that. All right, 2-minute power play. Just put this game to bed. This has been over the whole period, but let's just come on. One more goal, we get nervous. One more. This doesn't look like the beatdown on Broadway anymore, which sucks, but it was 6-1, 6-0. Like, score effects, folks. I learned what that means in the playoffs because Leafs fans kept shoving it in my face when I kept pointing out to some of them that the Sens were carrying the play in a lot of those games, but it was because they were down by 2 and needed to push, and the Leafs were just sitting back, defending the lead. That's why the Sens look good. And I learned something. I'll be honest. I want to thank Leafs fans for teaching me hockey. Two defensemen out there for the power play. I don't hate it. If they score here, it's obviously over. It's been over the whole period, but more convincingly, let's say. Tkachuk has been so good tonight. So good. I think Timmy's a bit snake bitten though. I don't know when his last goal was. Let me look at that. When was Tim Stutzla's last goal? Yeesh. In Toronto. He had a 4-game goal streak broken up by the Christmas break. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and tonight's 9. 9 games, no goals for Timmy. Wow, that's a quiet 9-game goalless drought for number 18, but we'll focus on that another time. He'll score this weekend, I think. Good guy, Claude Giroux, making sure the goalie has his helmet on. Just a good guy. Just a good guy. Yeah, 2:28 left. This thing's over. It's been over the whole night. The whole third period. Didn't even have to sweat. Good for the Rangers, though. A couple goals to cheer for. Good for them. Get the crowd on their feet here at MSG. But yeah, the only thing that gets hurt here is Levy's save percentage. That's it. I think I saw a stat, and I forget who mentioned it to me, but I pointed out Marilainen's record on the road being 0-7, and someone pointed out the goals per game in those games. It's like 2.1 or something. So getting him this kind of goal support goes a long way. So good for the Sens stepping up for Marilainen tonight. Because truly, I don't think you're going back after this game being like, oh, they gave the Rangers life. That's not it at all. I think it's just so clearly a empty net. Are you kidding? Have some shame. Go for 2. Get the 8th. Pulling your goalie in this situation is wild to me. Wow. Minute to go. Sanderson's got it. Up to Brady. To Timmy in front, and there goes the goal drought. I willed that into existence. The Sens put up 2. They go for 2, and it's good. 8-4. 8-4. Four points for Brady Tkachuk, I think. He almost missed that. Garbage time goal for Tim Stützle ends an 8-game goal drought. That's big for him. He needed that one. You could tell he wanted it in that third period. That's a lottery line, garbage time goal there. Timmy in the net from Sanderson and Tkachuk. 8 goals on the road for the Senators. What a performance, man. Someone's down on the ice, though. I don't know who that is. Second career 4-point game for Brady Tkachuk. He was a machine tonight. Absolute monster. Oh, that hit the post? Eller on the side of the net. We want 9. Give us 9. They're still pushing. I love it. Oh, the post again. Look at this fourth line. There's a bunch of dogs. 1 second left. What a win. What a win. 8-4. Last week, it was a beatdown by Colorado. It's reversed this week. That's a game led by the captain. He was a machine tonight, folks. Brady Tkachuk's best game of the year by a mile. 8-4. Jake Sanderson, game-winning goal. Not much else for me to hit on there. I'm going to just wrap up quickly here. I think my standout was Brady, like I mentioned. Great team game. The 4 by the Rangers seems a lot more flattering than it was. This was dominant from the Ottawa Senators. Back-to-back wins for Levi Merlion in back-to-back situations. That's 2 in a row. Massive weekend coming up for Ottawa. Let's make this a streak with 2 rivalry games. What a win for the stream, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. We're not going anywhere. We earned this 2-3 record on the live watch party. Appreciate everyone stopping by, everyone joining. Can't say enough. Really thankful that everyone's having a good time with these. Thanks for stopping by for this stream. It's been another edition of the Locked On Senators stream. Appreciate everyone joining in, and have a great night. We'll see you guys Saturday. Stay tuned for the postcast.